by Gavin Dorr. About to commence play here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Swans kicking to the right of the screen. Rendell against Ironmonger. Ironmonger wins the tap. Clayton taps the ball on. It's picked up by Wind. Straight to the Swans skipper, and Dennis Carroll takes the mark.
Carroll.
Now a free kick has been found. Back with Scott Clayton in the centre of the ground.
Clayton, as Bob said earlier, big job tonight, Clayton. To Grant Laurie, back it comes to Clayton. Clayton towards half forward, where John Ironmonger, the man we spoke about, a shocking hand pass straight to McIver. Oh, copped an elbow then, and the umpire said it's a free kick against McIver for holding the ball.
Hand pass from Carroll out to Bolton. Using his pace, puts it out in front of Bayes. A beautifully placed kick, and Mark Bayes doesn't let him down. But it might be reversed here. I think Tui has done the wrong thing with Blakey, and the ball will be taken off the Swans and given to John Blakey. You don't agree, Barry?
No, I don't agree with that. Bobby just ran into him.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
Actually,
I thought it was the most ticky touchwood reversal I've ever seen. Blakey puts the ball forward, punched away from Barwick, has got Carter looking after him. Over the boundary line it goes on the full, and so we'll find the free kick to go down there, and it'll be taken by Fitzroy through the person of young Armstrong.
I was just watching Carter behind.
Look at David Parkin having a word. He's not very happy.
Carter was getting stuck into Barwick behind the play too. There's a bit of feeling there. Of course, Rod Carter, a former Fitzroy player, but that's a funny sort of a matchup. I think Barwick will worry Carter with his pace, but of course Carter with his height will
Tui
worry
has
Barwick.
the job of Osman.
Forward pocket. Chance for Greg Williams, gets a hurry kick, travelled about 5 metres, half forward flank and socket off the ground, further afield and over the line. As yet, no score in this game. We're almost at the 2-minute mark of this first quarter. At the moment, a very important game for Fitzroy. 5th on the ladder, the Swans on top. Oh, brilliant play, Steve Wright. A kick towards half-forward, Blakey in the centre of the pack, but he had good support from Keane, almost took the mark. A hand pass comes out wide. Ross Thornton, a very reliable player. A short kick to Armstrong, and the Tasmanian, recruited this year to Fitzroy, Matthew Armstrong onto the left foot. Up towards half-forward, there's Ironmonger in front of the pack. Over the back is Barwick. Oh, it's a free kick to Barwick. He copped it high, and the little fella in great form this year. 35 goals he's kicked for this year, an average of 5 a game. Now watch this in replay as he cops it. Oh, I don't know about that. What do you think, Barry?
No, I think the umpires are trying to set the tone here and pulling up players for very minor offences, and I didn't see much in that one either.
It looked like very much like hip and shoulder, but Barwick is a great kick of a football. 68 VFL games, I said. He's kicked 35 for the year. And this is a very, very easy kick for goal, almost directly in front. 25 metres. Is this? Oh, he's hooked that. He's hooked it badly. Give a bloke a rap and I'll let you down every time.
Every time, Peter. Very easy goal miss there.
Well, a bad miss. 1 point, Fitzroy. Sydney Swans yet to score, and he doesn't look too happy with himself, Barwick. Really looking forward to this clash. Rod Carter, 230 games he's played with 2 clubs, Fitzroy and of course the Swans. He's probably played his better football. There's McIver, caught again with the ball. It's on half back for the Swans. Then they charge after it, and the umpire will come in, and this is the time it's umpire Gavin Dorr will come in and bounce it.
So the bounce right on the point of the centre square, forward line for Fitzroy. Young Gale has got the job of Tony Morwood. No clear tap, completely missed by John Ironmonger. Umpire Dorr coming in, and he finds another free kick. Now, they're pulling them from everywhere at the moment. So Matt Rendell now with a free kick. Puts it long, looking for Richard Osman. Over the back it comes, Browning chasing after it, carries it over the boundary line, and the throwing will take place. Forward pocket for Fitzroy. 1 point to Fitzroy. Swans yet to score. Just almost 4.5 minutes into the first term. Ironmonger gets a tap. It's picked up by Wind. Offline, 1 more point goes on the board, and that time kicked by Jim Wind, and so it's 2 points to 0.
Well, a most important game. Both these sides were finalists last year. of course, in the VFL competition. A short pass from fullback comes out to, he played on stupidly. Carroll puts Bolton under pressure. A hand pass comes back to Jimmy Wynn, former Essendon player. Ducking his head there was McIver. No free kick, said the umpire. Hand pass to Holden from Bolton, and Holden brings it out of defence towards Graham Cordy. Big job for Graham Cordy. Keane would probably have a bit of height and strength advantage on him tonight. Hawke, who had a great game last week. In the back, will say the umpire to Gerard Healy on half-forward flank. And the Swan supporters letting the umpire know that was the correct decision. Long, long way out from goal. Going for the torpedo punt. It's a wobbly one towards half-forward. Kappa flies. Didn't quite take the mark. It was a great effort by Kappa. A hand pass wide. Finds Keane. Keane out of defence. And an easy mark taken out on that wing by David Bolton.
So Bolton on centre wing, wanting to get the ball moving, gets a 15-metre.
That is a bad decision.
Comes up towards half-forward flank, puts a long kick forward. Big pack up and Kappa takes. Now he's called play on. I thought it was a mark from mine. What did you think, Barry?
I thought it was a mark all the way, Bob.
As Staunton puts the ball forward, picked up by Gerard Healy, tripped. Called play on as he hand passed across to Williams. Williams gets the push in the back, and Greg Williams, capable of kicking in it from here, is kicking from about 45 metres out. 6 minutes have gone in the first term here. It's 2 points Fitzroy. Swans yet to score, but I do believe that Greg Williams can put a score on the board. So Greg Williams kicking from 45 metres out. Offline, first score of the match, the Swans, so it's 1 point Swans, 2 points Fitzroy.
And a very, very lacklustre opening so far as football skills go. There's been a few mistakes made, but no doubt it will liven up. Fitzroy play a very similar style of play to the Sydney Swans. A lovely kick that was. Kapler takes it. That was Grant Laurie, the fullback, who kicked in on that occasion. Centre of the ground, a quick hand pass out to Clayton, then on to Kapler. Kapler was knocked out 2 weeks ago and played the following week, which was doubtful. A silly play by Tui. Went for the punch when he could have marked it. There's Henwood getting it across to Holden. Oh, here comes the loose man. A long hand pass out to the most improved player in the VFL, and that's Murphy. Murphy to Browning. Browning, a long raking kick. Laurie's got the job on Kappa tonight. It's in that back pocket as Kappa was grabbed around the head. Yes, and the umpire saw that one. He was certainly grabbed far too high, and good umpiring by John Russo to spot that one. Kappa will kick from almost the 50-metre mark, so I'd say the distance very doubtful, Bob.
He's not great over 40 metres. Once he gets over about 40 metres out from goal, does tend to try and get too much distance. Not a good kick into the square. Keane was up at the back of the pack. We find Fitzroy coming away through Clayton. He gives the hand pass across to Thornton. The Knight, I should say. Knight, after taking it, puts it up towards Bolton. Swings onto his right foot. It is his natural foot. And Hawke takes the mark. Paul Hawke gets the lead. Morwood, diving attempt, doesn't come off. Over the boundary line it goes. And the throw-in will take place 50 metres out from the Swans' goal. 1 point the Swans, 2 points Fitzroy, 8.5 minutes into the first term. Bayes up high, thumps it down towards Kapler and Laurie. Tony Morwood punches the ball on. Couldn't be taken by Murphy. Browning's there, he can't win possession. Murphy's held when not in possession. Completely missed by umpire Russo. Kapler puts the ball wide. Osman coming through. Tui comes in and wins possession. With the left foot, Tui down towards the forward pocket. Kapler takes an easy mark. A well-judged mark, Barry.
Great judge mark, Bobby. Used his body very well there. He just got away from seeing on the replay here there and was in front, which is the most important thing for Kapler to do, I think, this evening.
Grant Laurie, for an experienced player, should have back into Kapler then, was caught out. 32 goals for the year. Kapler as he stabs at this one, and not a bad looking kick, and it's a goal.
Grant Laurie lost Kappa there at that stage when Kappa led for the ball, and the score 1-1-7 to 2 points to Fitzroy. Here we see on replay how Kappa used his body, and you can see here how Laurie lost Kappa in that,
nice
that
piece
moment
of shepherding
there.
by Stevie Wright there for Tui. No clear tap from the centre. It's picked up by MacGyver. His hand pass accepted by Clayton. Out towards the half-forward flank. Punched away from McGrath. Good play by Henwood. Good defensive work. Forces the ball over the boundary line. So we're throwing to take place midway between centre wing and half-forward flank for Fitzroy. Thornton going on and off the ball with Hawke, which means Pekin going on and off the ball with Healy. MacGyver kicked off the ground by Hawke. Thornton comes in. Again, Hawke puts the ball forward. Dennis Carroll dives in after it, and umpire Russo indicates that he'll come in and bounce the ball. Perfect conditions here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. A beautiful night. Very, very mild. Grabbed by Rendell. The short kick goes forward. Henwood punches it away. Thrown aside as Williams comes in. Got it into Carroll. Smothered off the boot. Carroll then puts the ball wide to Mitchell. Mitchell to Browning. Not a long kick, but it bounces high. Almost a free kick to Bayes as Tony Morwood comes through. A hand pass over the top to Healy. A goal coming up as Gerard Healy puts it right through the centre. One goal to Gerard Healy, and the Swans go to 2 goals, 1-13. Fitzroy 2 behind.
One of the few occasions there that the Swans got the ball moving out into the open, and they capitalised with Healy finishing off the good work. Browning, a hurried kick there from the centre square to centre half forward. Tapped away. Comes through, Morwood comes through, over the top to Healy, and a good piece of work to finish it off with a goal. Very slow opening. Pace doesn't seem to be on.
Well, there's no doubt the Swans are at their most dangerous when they're rebounding. There's Greg Williams to Graham Cordy, who marks at the 50-metre line, and the Swans really starting to get their game going now. When they get it across that half-back line and start rebounding, they get the opposition side under enormous pressure on their back line. Now, Cordy will kick from 55 metres. The edge of the square, oh, not a bad-looking drop punt, a chance for the high flyer in Bayes over the back. A very, very easy mark. Very poor defence by Fitzroy.
Capper does an excellent job here. He made no attempt to get the mark himself, but really played the foil for Mark Bayes.
Well, I thought it was poor defensive play by Fitzroy to allow Bayes from behind to just come over the top, uncontested virtually. Cap was doing the heavy work, but Bayes was uncontested. There's the kick, and he's missed, and only 1 point. So Fitzroy certainly looking a very, very small side on their back line. 2 goals, 2-14 to the Sydney Swans, to Fitzroy 2 points.
Certainly makes a difference without Paul Roos, Pete.
That's right, 6'3", 6'3.5" Roos, and a great player. There's Mark Bayes, and of course Grant Laurie now bringing it back into play. Is a beautiful kick of a football. Dennis Carroll fists it to the ground. Players pounce in on top of it, and it'll be a bounce up. David Parkin, a very astute coach, certainly recognised as one of the top coaches in this competition. Oh gee, there's Matt Rendell caught with the ball. Philip Knight, a hurried kick out of defence. There's a wild hand pass. Back it comes to Browning. Browning towards half forward. Bayes leads in the race against Blakey. Oh, Bayes caught with the ball, and the umpire said holding the ball, which was probably technically correct, but very hard on Mark Bayes.
Yes, I don't think it was necessary. They were over the boundary line when it happened as Blakey puts the ball back very close to the line. In fact, it's a lovely mark. And McGrath, it's either out of bounds on the full or it's a mark, one or the other. And it is a mark to Craig McGrath. McGrath easily gets around Henwood, swings onto the left foot, drives it towards half forward. Kapler in front, but Murphy, oh, that's a great mark. He's a fine player, David Murphy. Looks for the hand pass, finds Holden. Holden puts the ball wide. A 2-out duel, punched away by Gale, but Morwood first on the scene, cops one too high. A poor tackle that time by Kapler. And I think it was Fitzroy that complained about that sort of tackle. And now we find Murphy to take the easy mark. Plays on with a lovely kick down towards Cordy at the back. Punches the ball on. Scott Clayton leads in the race for the ball. Kicks it off the ground. Picked up by Bayes. Swings onto the left foot, but a poorly placed kick goes straight onto the arms of Matt Rendell.
Rendell, off he goes to Gary Keane, who swings onto his left foot. Oh, it's a poorly directed kick. Oh, Ironmonger copped it hard there. In fact, it was a free kick. The Fitzroy player didn't even look at the ball then. Over to Murphy. Back it comes towards Tui. Tui further afield to Carroll, and they've got a very good half-back line to Williams. Williams to Bolton. Bolton sprints into the open goal, hooks it back, not far enough though, and again it's through for 1 point. So Sydney Swans doing all the attacking in this quarter. 2 goals, 3-15. They lead Fitzroy on 2 points. Grant Laurie, a big task tonight on Kappa. Out wide, Kapler, an excellent mark. Darren Kapler, very impressive player. We saw him a few weeks ago against the Brisbane Bears up at Carrara, and he played a great game. Towards half-forward, Henwood. He's a better player in defence, I think, Bob.
Well, I think he's one of those players that will have to be used in various spots. Centre half forward some night, one night, back pocket the next, even into the ruck. He did a superb job against Kernahan in the last quarter the other week, as he's up high there to tap the ball away. Not tall enough to do the job all night in the ruck, but he can come in and get knockouts as in that situation. And a good mark taken by Bernard Tui. Tui swings the ball across the ground. Morwood coming across takes a nice mark. Gale fell, and so he puts it out in front of Healy. Healy couldn't trap it. Could be a free kick to Blakey. Held-Wyn not in possession. Pekin can't get the ball clear. In comes Knight, picks the ball up well. It's on behind play as Gerard Healy's there. And the ball driven forward, and we find Richard Osman to take the mark. It's all finished behind play.
A huge task for young Michael Gale tonight, playing on Tony Morwood too, Bob.
Certainly is. Fitzroy have a number of players doing defensive jobs, and that's a lovely kick by Richard Osman right through the centre. 1 goal to Richard Osman, and so it's the Sydney Swans 2-3-15 to Fitzroy 1-2-8.
Great kick for goal there from Osman, just straight through the centre and made no mistake about it.
He is one of the great kicks in league football, Richard Osman. He very, very rarely misses, and a very long kick as we see the Fitzroy interchange bench warming up. (15 plays 8), so that's 7 points the difference as we see Ironmonger a fist right out wide. Now here's the player I mentioned, Michael Gale, the Tasmanian, is dispossessed. Out there as Murphy is having a great first quarter. Murphy with great pace gets it back. Bays is caught behind. Pekin did the flying for Fitzroy. There's Gale, took his eyes off it then. Hawke loses it to Clayton. Out wide is Holden, and Holden with a long raking kick to the pocket. Stevie Wright couldn't take it. Kappa beats Laurie for it. Oh, good play, Mitchell. This is danger for Fitzroy, but they're equal to the task as Blakey soccers it off the ground, but Bolton waits for it. Half forward flank Bolton, the racehorse. Off he goes. Oh, a very ordinary kick straight into the man, Philip Knight, coming towards him.
Not so much an ordinary kick, Pete, as great defensive work by Philip Knight.
There was some very good work from the whole Fitzroy backline there, right from the goal square out. They're playing very well in defence, putting them under a lot of pressure.
From the throw-in, Bayes competing with Rendell. Rendell takes the ball out of the pack, puts it forward. Henwood takes a lovely mark. He's up around centre wing. McGrath coming right up the ground, bringing Henwood up. The only players on the Fitzroy forward line are Rod Carter and Doug Barwick at the present moment. That's forward of the centre at all. And it could be a free kick to Warwick Kappa here. Got one a little bit high, had no chance of competing for it as Tommy Hafey has a word on the phone to Craig Davis, the league's slowest runner. But it's
Ticking touch, wasn't it? Gee.
well, I think it was a good too many for
Oh.
both sides. What are the umpires have been told to change of things? Kappa, a lovely kick right through the centre. 2 goals to Warwick Kappa, and it's 3-3, 21 to 1-2-8, and Peter McKenna is not very happy.
I think it was almost a gift for Kappa. It was a great shot for goal from Kappa. He was 50 odd metres out, but I don't think there was anything in that at all.
Hand on the shoulder, what chance did Kappa have?
It is a body contact game after all.
Centre bounce. Ironmonger wins the tap against Rendell. Murphy couldn't take it. Thornton did, but it was taken away by Williams. He drives the ball up towards half forward. Harris and Mitchell. Harris wins out, breaks the tackle, gets the hand pass in to Keane. Keane's kick off the side of the boot. stayed in play. It really swung back. I thought Stevie Wright did think, like I, that it was going to go out of bounds on the full, and it came back, and well, now it's a throw-in. Bays knocked out of the way. It's taken by Blakey, back towards centre wing. Almost a good mark by Armstrong. He butters up well smothered by Henwood. Excellent play. Henwood doing a fine job, Barry.
Henwood's done some fine work up to date, Bob, and as you said, you've got to play him all over the ground, and he's just that sort of player. But that was a great piece of work, that smother.
Very lacklustre game at the moment. Nothing like the last couple of weeks we've seen, but a lot of pressure on out there as we see it on, with Pekin on centre wing as umpire Gavin Dorr comes in to bounce it. I get the impression the umpires are just trying very, very hard not to let the game get out of hand.
It just seems to be very static at the moment, the game. It's not moving it well at all, considering the conditions.
Rendell and Ironmonger. A free kick. No, now the umpires paid the advantage to Craig Holden. Capper ducks back. And a very, very easy goal coming up for the Swans.
Well, they've got another one.
And it's on in the goal square.
Laurie Capper had actually kicked the goal there when he copped one. 27 points to 8. And he could easily have got another kick there, Pete.
Yes, and, well, you'd never see that now. I don't think they've paid that in league football for a long time.
The ball has to go over the line, and then the player has to be hit.
Yeah.
It's only when it's so close to the line, as in a case like that, that you are likely to get the free kick.
Well, Capper is worrying Grant Laurie. I don't think Grant Laurie likes playing a fullback. I've seen him play some poor games. I've seen him play some great ones on the half-back line, but fullback he seems to panic. Centre of the ground, Fitzroy, another free kick in the centre of the ground, the 15 metres. This is given by John Russo to Craig Holden, and the Fitzroy want to smarten up very, very quickly. They've been playing very, very undisciplined football at the moment. Out wide it goes to Bernard Toohey. Toohey ducks around, looking for Capper. Over the back of Laurie, drops the mark. Mitchell to Bays. Here's danger again as Bays races to the forward pocket. Hooks it back to Steve Wright. The thinking was very good on that occasion. Jimmy Wynn was at the bottom of the pack. Now it's a shuffled hand pass, and once again the ball is forced to the line and over the line. But Fitzroy, their backmen have got to play shoulder to shoulder. They've got to put more pressure on. They've got to start punching the ball. At the moment they're very loose.
Free kick goes the way of Fitzroy, saying that there was shepherding and when there was a boundary throw-in, and a 15-metre will be paid. Umpire Gavin Dorr as the Blakey gets the ball across now to Pekin. Pekin goes short. Richard Osman takes a nice mark. It's a good duel out there between Osman and Toohey.
Cool.
Osman thought about hand passing, but from centre wing, Richard Osman goes long down towards the pocket. Ironmonger and Henwood there. Browning swings back onto the left foot, gets the kick, but it goes straight to the opposition, and Kapler takes a nice mark. Kapler drives it long. Carter punches the ball away from Barwick. Swooping on the ball is Jim Wind, and Wind puts it through for a goal. One goal to Jim Wind. Wind has the task of going on and off the ball with Stevie Wright,
And
which means Harris has to go on and off the ball with Barry Mitchell.
fine piece of anticipation here from Wind, who collected the ball off the base of the pack and kicked truly with his left foot.
Well, Swans seem to have absolutely dominated this quarter, but they really haven't got it on the scoreboard. They're in front, but Fitzroy are with them at the moment as we see Thornton to half forward. Bit of a blue on behind the game, nothing too serious as we see, taking the mark. Now, this is not beyond Richard Osman. He is a beautiful long kick. He'll have to kick 55 metres, but I'll tell you what, he will go very, very close from there. He is a great kick of a football. Look at that driving kick, a beautiful kick, and it's a goal. What a top kick by Richard Osman, one of the great kicks in league football.
Yes, he certainly is, Pete. 4-3-27 to 3-2-20, and personally I don't think Toohey's the man, Barry.
Well, he's done all right up today. Well, Osman's kicked 2 goals. Here we see the replay. It's a fine kick, and we saw the value there of getting the ball out of the centre quickly too, Osman. But he's just slipped away in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Can't afford to let
that's what he
let
does,
him get
and
away
I
much
think
more.
he'll continue to do it all night.
Well, he's a bit slow, Bernard. He's gutsy and got plenty of heart. But, well, Fitzroy is still in this. I reckon that, you know, they've had an ordinary quarter and they're still up with the Swans, so that's a good sign. And here they come again. McGrath, oh, beautiful hand pass to Jim Wind, who breaks the tackle. He straightens up the little fella and he puts it through for his second goal. And that was brilliant play by the ex-Essendon Rover.
Well, he's having a purple patch at the moment. Win, that's his second goal. And again, the ball out of the centre of Fitzroy side.
Lovely play by McGrath.
Yep.
A lovely balk around Browning. And a right foot kick that time just snuck in.
Well, that camera shot behind the goal's a ripper when you see the ball swinging like that. It got in by about 2 inches, I think, that one.
1 point the margin. Time on to play in this term as Bays punches the ball forward. Graham Cordy, well tackled, loses it and is penalised accordingly. The advantage rule allowed. I disagree with that one, but it's Leon Harris who got it out to Rendell, who drives the ball forward. Could easily have been a free kick to Barwick. He leads in the race for the ball anyway, snaps towards goal, offline, 1 point and scores a level.
You can see by that, Barry, that Barwick will worry Carter if they can get it wide to him.
And quickly, that's the one he likes, over the back.
Short kick coming there from Henwood. Finds Rod Carter. Carter now virtually the same as a kick-off. Goes straight up the centre of the ground. And Knight takes a lovely mark. No, it's being paid to Clayton. Either it was actually Knight who took it, but it matters not because it's a Fitzroy man nonetheless. Scott Clayton. Straight down the ground. Tui comes across. Couldn't take it. Browning tried to tap it out. It's picked up by Armstrong. And another goal comes on the board. Matthew Armstrong kicks his first, and it's Fitzroy 5-3, 33 to the Swans, 4-3, 27, and now there's a dust-up down there on the Fitzroy forward line.
It's a little bit late for that, Bob, but again, the Swans want to be careful. They just don't seem to have got out of first gear at the moment. And again, just a loose piece of play by the Swans backs there. Browning in particular allowed that goal to Fitzroy.
There was some great bit of tackling there by young Hinkley, number 48 too, to put Browning under pressure, which forced the loose ball to come out. They're still niggling away up at that forward line. There's a lot of feeling between these two sides.
Not much good niggling after the play's gone. That's
no,
right.
Exactly. But it's amazing. I thought Fitzroy for the first 10 minutes or so were very, very poor. We're at the 27.5-minute mark, and here they are, a goal in front. So that does the change in football. It fluctuates so quickly as back to the centre we go. Ironmonger towards half forward. There's Jimmy Wind again. As Bob said, he's picking up Steve Wright and doing well. Towards centre wing and Browning. Browning ducks away under pressure. Brings it to half forward. Clayton's doing a great job on Greg Williams at the moment as it's kicked out wide towards centre wing. There was Jimmy Wind again who was in it to Gale. Michael Gale, his poor disposal. Straight to Ironmonger who marks the centre half back.
Quick hand pass across to Tui. Tui drives the ball to centre wing. Williams and Clayton. Clayton was into the back. Comes out. Almost threw it up to Blakey, but Blakey now back to Clayton. The hand pass comes wide towards Knight. Back to Clayton again. Put him under all sorts of pressure, but Knight now relieves a little bit of that pressure, but it's straight to Ironmonger once again. Ironmonger held by the foot. Oh, he's not going to report him for that, sure.
I told you there, it's unbelievable, this.
That is the greatest joke of all times. Surely you're allowed to stop a player playing on.
I thought you gave John Russo a pep talk on the way into the ground too, Bob.
Oh,
that's just
he must
wasted.
have got the wrong message.
Just wasted everybody's time on Monday night, forgetting about what happened just there.
There it is.
I mean, you must be able to
He
pull
thought
a
he was
player
going
up.
to play on.
Of course he did. And surely you're allowed to do that.
Of course you are.
Marked by Gary Keane after that kick comes forward. Keane, the hand pass to Wind. Not a good kick. Smothered by Paul Hawke. Close to the boundary line. It didn't go over. The hand pass comes back to Bays. Nice piece of shepherding from Steve Wright allows Bays to go long. No mark. It's picked up by Gale. A quick hand pass. Good defensive work as he gets it to Laurie. Laurie backs back, going the wrong way, but now he gets the hand pass across to Pekin. Pekin has plenty of time. He's able to steady. Gives the hand pass to Blakey. Blakey runs through the half-back line in towards the centre. The hand pass wide finds Leon Harris. He puts Clayton under pressure, but they get out of it. It's back to Harris. Harris will go long. It might bounce through. It's in the square. It's a goal! Very happy, David Parkin, and so he should be. Beautiful play by Leon Harris, and well-deserved goal.
And here we see the play moving down the ground. Just a great example of backing up by the Fitzroy players, all supporting each other, which is something that the Swans don't seem to be doing at the moment. They're not running to where the ball is. And they're playing
they got a bit cocky when they got that early.
I think they did. They've gone to sleep, Bob, I think.
They certainly have, as we see young Hinkley has gone off the ground, and Brett Stevens, who took Paul Roos's place in the selected 20, is on. As we see Williams towards half forward. Oh, gee, that back line now playing well. Gary Keane's had a good game. Towards half forward. Oh, good mark. No. Oh, he's unloaded too, Bernard Toohey. Grabbed by... oh, Philip Knight is punched straight in the middle of the face. And Bernard Toohey, you had to go, my friend. I hate to say it, but that was a right arm jolt to the head, and down went Philip Knight.
Just be interesting to see on replay if we can get this, Pete, but...
well, I had a great
right
view.
in front
Have
of
a look
the
at this
umpire,
one
here
in
we go.
replay. Oh. Well, Toohey unlucky just before that not to get the mark, but Philip Knight is not too good. And
bleeding freely from the mouth.
Keith Thomas, the South Australian. Now, was that a 15-metre penalty? Now the umpire is paying it. Bolton being brought back, Ross Thornton. And a bit of stupid play going on in this game. It's been a strange game so far as Thornton hooks this one. Ironmonger ducks back, and eventually it's forced through for a behind. But Fitzroy have really picked up their game and are doing well at the moment. They've moved on to 6-4-40 to Sydney, 4-3-27.
Greg Williams takes it. Browning doing the kicking off. A long hand pass finds Craig Holden. Directs play back towards centre half forward. Tony Morwood was up high but offloaded at the last moment. The hand pass comes from Keane across to Blakey. Goes actually back down the ground, but he finds Kapler, who was clear. Kapler from centre half back puts the ball wide. Armstrong. Fitzroy doing as they like at the moment as the hand pass comes across. Stevens trips, got the hand pass in, kicked off the ground by Mitchell. He goes after it again, gathers it well, gives the hand pass to Browning, who then puts the long kick down towards half forward. Punched away from Kappa, taken by Blakey. Nice hand pass to Leon Harris. Likewise out now to Ross Thornton. Thornton does another hand pass and finds Scott McIver. From the centre, McIver puts it long and wide. Tapped back by Osman. Gets away from the tackle. A goal coming up. Osman loves these. Doesn't swing it back though. And over the boundary line. No, not on the full. 1 point only.
That was tremendous skill, Barry, by Osman, wasn't it?
Just great ball handling, Pete. And it was just unfortunate there that he didn't quite get it round far enough. But just a fine piece of skill work.
Well, Richard Osman has kicked 2 goals so far in this game. There's the siren to end a real topsy-turvy first quarter here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, with Fitzroy leading 6-4-40 to Sydney 4-3-27.
I've never seen Tommy Hafey quite as animated as he was at quarter time. 13 points, the margin in favour of Fitzroy. Play about to commence in the second term. A high bounce, no clear tap, punch back by Hawke. Murphy taps the ball through, comes through to Hawke again. Stevens got the hand pass in, not to anybody in particular, and umpire Gavin Dorr comes in to indicate that he'll bounce the ball.
Ironmonger against Rendell, so it should be a terrific contest between those two very tall players. Gerard Healy, a hurried kick. Michael Gale, he took that beautifully, well played by the young fella, and a hand pass further afield towards, that's Philip Knight with the ball, brings it towards half forward, a beautiful pass. Now, I'm wrapped in Osman's kicking ability, but on this occasion,
Nice
I think
to see Knight back on the ground, Pete.
Yes, he's a good player, Philip Knight. Now, if he goes the torpedo punt, it is not beyond his possibilities, because he is a beautiful kick. He's gone for it. Have a look at that for a kick. What a kick by Richard Osman. He'll never let you down.
That was a great kick by Richard Osman there, as Pete said, and he was right on the centre square line, which would be a good 55 metres from goal. Again, we saw there Osman completely unattended. It doesn't show it there on the replay, but there was not a Swans defender within 15 metres of him at that stage, Bob.
You disagree with me earlier when I said that Toohey's not the man. I would have had Toohey away from him early in the piece.
Bob, he is one of the great kicks in league football, and that shows his versatility with that torpedo punt.
Rendell, not a clear tap. Tapped down by Hawke, taken by Thornton. A high floating kick. Osman grabbed by the arm. Barwick comes in. It's back to Osman again. He got the hand pass out. McGrath puts the ball over the shoulder, down towards the forward pocket. Tapped out. Kicked off the ground, through the centre. No, 1 point only by Jim Wind. And it's a fine game Wind is playing.
He's everywhere.
I saw him playing a number of games for the reserves for Essendon, and I always wondered why he couldn't crack it. Well, probably because they had so many good Rovers in their senior team, but I don't think he ever got a fair go.
Players, you mean?
And Rovers, yeah. Essendon.
Yeah, not too many good Rovers at Essendon.
Well, they're supposed to have anyway, Bob, with good small men, as we see along. Well, Richard Osman can do it, so could Rod Carter. Almost a mark to Pekin, but his desperation keeps possession of the ball.
Yes, I thought it was a mark.
And yes, it was. Just wondering if that ball's just a little bit slippery, a bit of dew out there.
I think it would be in a night like this, Barry.
Well, it's a very humid night tonight, Bob, so if it should start to settle shortly, and maybe there is a bit of grease there on the ground.
Craig McGrath grabbing it, and along with Dennis Carroll. So a bounce to take place. 70 metres out from the Fitzroy goal. Up high was Henwood, a big thump. It runs past Gale, he traps it well. Across to Clayton, who got it to Blakey. A high floating kick, won't travel the distance. That's why nobody tried to mark it. Kicked off the ground by Thornton, picked up by Carroll, who drives the ball back towards the half-forward line. It's Laurie out in front, kicks the ball off the ground. Goes after it again. A good turn of speed. Kick, good play by Laurie. Doesn't even try to pick it up. It runs through to Richard Osman. Osman very close to the boundary line. Kept it in play well. Got it back to McIver, who swings it towards half forward, but a good mark taken by Ironmonger. Immediately gives it to Healy. On now to Hawke. The Swans getting out of trouble as Hawke goes wide and Kappa takes a nice mark.
Kappa over to Williams. Further afield it goes to Barry Mitchell, who is tripped. Play on, said the umpire. Back it comes to McIver. They're equal to the task as we see McGrath getting it towards the centre of the ground and Pekin. Pekin with a hand pass. Back it comes to McGrath as we see it to Kapler. Kapler straightens up from 45 metres. He's offline and in fact has put it through for 1 point.
You're a bit keen on Kapler, aren't you?
Am I ever? I reckon he's a dasher. He covered a bit of territory there as we see scoreboard showing 4-3 to 7-6. 3-3 the difference in favour of Fitzroy. Murphy had a brilliant start to the game. Kicks it wide. They're under a lot of pressure, the Swans. Oh, that's a good mark taken on centre wing by Bays.
So Mark Bays plays on from the centre of the ground. That's a glorious kick by Bays. Coming out in front, though, Laurie to take a fine mark. Laurie could easily have come across the ground, but he elects to go the other side. And the mark taken wide out there by Knight, who hand passes immediately onto Thornton. Thought about the hand pass, now elects to go long. He's got the man down in the forward pocket, and Stevens doesn't let him down.
Gee, that was a great kick, wasn't it, Bob?
So it's Brett Stevens, wide on the half-forward flank. Here's a lovely kick, Pete. As Brett Stevens started off on the interchange bench, came on in place of Hinkley, and Hinkley now finds Stevens going towards goal. 1 point only the result, kicked by Brett Stevens. A point by Stevens takes Fitzroy to 7-7-49. The Swans 4-3-27. As Carter goes short, finds Bolton.
Oh, that's off.
And Bolton comes up towards centre half back. Breaks the first tackle, a hand pass to Murphy. Murphy coming in towards the centre. Luckily decided to have a bounce, got it onto Browning. Quick kick from Browning down towards the Kappa, and the Kappa takes the easiest of marks.
Yes, I think Grant Laurie, I don't like him at full back. He doesn't play close enough. He's a dasher, as you see. He gave him.
Well, who would you put there?
Well, I'd even be tempted to whack Keane back there. You need someone who can.
He's done a great job at centre half back.
I know it's a bit awkward, but I just don't like him at full back. I like him across the half back line, Bob. Kappa's going for goal number 4 from right in front. As you see, Kappa, the match-winning goal against Hawthorn, an ugly-looking kick, and don't tell me he's going to sneak that one through. He does.
Kicks a bit like Peter McKenna, don't you think, Barry?
I think Pete kicked it just a little bit further, not much further, mind you.
That didn't deserve a goal, that kick.
I think Laurie was a little bit unfortunate there. If we watch here, he was Browning well tackled, and the ball went off the side of his boot, and Kappa just happened to be in the right spot for an easy mark.
2 goals for the difference. So 16 points, that is. Ross Thornton runs into a brick wall, but he gets his kick in, but it's straight to Browning, loitering there at the back across that half-back line. He does that very well, Browning. Kicks it wide towards the line. Blakey takes it over the line on centre wing.
Couldn't go much wider. He's further from goal now than he was when he had the ball.
I thought that was a poor kick, a poor piece of play there from Browning.
David Parkin, one of the great back pocket players in the league football for Hawthorn, of course, and a coach to Hawthorn and a Carlton Premiership side. There's Scotty Clayton, who's doing a good job on Williams. Now, is that a free kick or a mark? The umpire's playing the free kick, in fact, against Craig McGrath, and it's Wayne Henwood at the, well, half-back flank position to take this kick.
So Henwood favours the drop punt. It's a lovely kick up towards half-forward, and Cordy in front takes a fine mark. Gerard Healy, he loves these, Gerard, but never give the hand pass over the top to Morwood. In trouble, Borks, left foot kick, hit the post. Umpire saying, I think there may be a free kick coming back to Tony Morwood. And so Morwood with the opportunity with another kick, and Barry, you saw that one.
He was pushed in the back as he kicked the ball, Bob, so the umpire gave him the choice of another kick, so obviously after it's hit the post, he's elected to take another shot at goal.
So Tony Morwood from 20 metres out, directly in front. You can tell by the crowd, it's a goal. Tony Morwood kicks his first goal. And the Swans go to 7-7-49. Fitzroy 7-7-49 with the Swans 6-3-39.
That was the first piece of positive play that we've had from the Swans for about half a quarter, I think, and it resulted in a fine goal there from Morwood. But it started on the half-back line, and the result was a goal. Here we see on replay the interference after he kicked the ball and certainly was pushed in the back.
10 points the margin, approaching the 9-minute mark of the second term. Ironmonger got it wide, but Kapler forces the ball forward. Stevens couldn't take possession. McIver left the ball for his teammate, and it could be a free kick to Fitzroy, but I think as we find Tim Pekin coming up from underneath, Tommy Hafey ready to have a word. And this is 21 years that Tom Hafey has been coaching league football, and there's not many people who've got a better record than Tom Hafey. Although he didn't win a premiership, I think probably his best effort was his years at Collingwood. Pete?
Yes, I agree. I think he got very ordinary Collingwood sides into grand finals. There's Rendell doing some heavy work. McGrath out wide to Kapler. Geez, got some pace, Kapler. Richard Osman caught behind on this occasion. A very easy mark taken by Bernard Toohey, who had his number taken in the first quarter. Now, out wide, Philip Knight. And he's beaten for that. It was a good mark to Craig Holden, which he was almost off. Holden, an underrated player. It's an excellent job for the Swans. Towards half forward. Keane thumps it away from Cordy. Kapper a long, long way out from goal. Holding the man, said the umpire. And it's coming back to Graham Cordy. A hand pass out wide finds Bolton. Bolton kicks on his right foot towards the pocket. No mark, I don't think. No, said the umpire. Now, was it in the back? No, it's still play on as we see it. Back it comes towards the half-forward line. Grabbed by Paul Hawke. Over to Steve Wright, who hasn't been in the game as yet. And it's a free kick on the boundary line to Stephen Wright. He's going to chip it across. And he finds a teammate. I think it's Gerard Healy. Yes, it is. Now, is he off?
Was he or wasn't he?
Well, he made a movement sideways to hand pass. That's play on in my book.
I always thought it was play on.
Isn't that play on? Come on, Bob, you're on the new rules committee. You should know.
I thought it was play on. But maybe he didn't move his feet. Healy from 50 metres out. Torpedo punt kick into the square. Up high, the big punch was away by Blakey. Picked up by Graham Cordy, but it's offline. And a 1 point comes on the board to the Swans. Graham Cordy puts his first score on the board, and it's 6-4-40 to 7-7-49 in favour of Fitzroy. Grant Laurie to bring the ball back into play. Laurie goes for the long kick.
Half back line. It's fisted away. It was Blakey with a head. It's Blakey receiving. No, Pekin receiving from Blakey. Over to Barwick. Barwick with a high one towards half forward. They fly. Over the back was Osman. Couldn't take it. Carroll. Henwood. Well done, Barwick. Barwick's been kept out of it so far by Carter, but that was good play, Barwick. Beautiful play, but there's no one there at the moment for Fitzroy, and ducking back to take the mark was Gerard Healy. Now he's right in that last line of defence, a 15-metre penalty. He elects to hand pass to Browning instead, and Browning with that typical long raking kick looking for Bays. He loses it. Still in there after it though, Mark Bays, as the players pounce on the ball on centre wing, and the bounce will take place. We've been playing in this quarter, second quarter, 12 minutes gone, 7-7, plays 6-4, so the difference is 9 points in favour of Fitzroy.
So the bounce to take place midway between centre of the ground and centre wing. Ironmonger grabs it, gets the short kick in. Free kick will be paid here, and that's just a clear play as far as I'm concerned. Barry Mitchell takes it, puts it down, looking for Kappa, gets away from Murray again. And well, it's nice to see Kappa moving around, Pete.
Good, that's the way he's got to play, Bob.
55 metres out, a long kick in towards the square. Morwood up, punched away. Graham Cordy grabs it, snapped the boards, goal! Cordy's first. Excellent goal by Graham Cordy. And the Swans, 7-4, 46, only trail by 3 points. Fitzroy, 7-7, 49, 13 points at quarter time, 3 points the margin now.
We see the Swans get themselves back in the game fair through Kappa, who, as Pete said, is moving around the forward line, giving them a focal point, and a good piece of ball handling there from Graham Cordy, who snatched it away from the point post and kicked that goal.
Gerard Healy to half forward. Oh, good play, Leon Harris. But here's Bays. Oh, terrific smother that was too. Oh, gee. Oh, boy. Play on, said the umpire. Was a freak. I think he paid the advantage to Blakey. Oh, Tim Peake, a clever hand pass to Kaplan. Now they've got the loose man going. Ross Thornton centres the ball to half forward. Almost a mark to Brett Stevens. Couldn't take it. Now it's a free kick to the Swans for holding the man. Bolton didn't have to go back over the mark. He must have paid the advantage rule, as Bolton trying to be too clever there, but he's still got the ball as he brings it to half forward. Now the umpire said he ran too far. I really think that was a little bit of blairising, Bob.
No, I think he just got lost in
You think?
where he was
Oh, he
going.
could have kicked it, I thought.
McGrath puts the ball forward, and Richard Osman once again.
Oh.
He's kicked 3.
Well, would you move Tui?
I said that after 5 minutes.
I think I would now.
So Richard Osman kicking from 45 metres out, going for his 4th goal. He's offline, 1 point the result. So Richard Osman with 3 goals, 1 on the board. 46-50 in favour of Fitzroy. 4 points the margin. 14.5 minutes have gone in the second term. Browning putting the ball in from full back. It's a lovely kick from Browning. And it's an equally good mark from Rod Carter. Hand passes wide, finds Holden. Coming up towards centre wing. Holden now towards centre half forward. Kappa almost took it. Not the mark, but at the back of the pack as it came through. Gale gets the hand pass in. Harris across the wind. It drives it towards centre half forward. Stevens, a great mark. That's a ripper. Lovely mark by Brett Stevens. Used his body well and then took an excellent mark as he juggled. And on replay, you can see Stevens taking it. And he'll kick from about 45 metres out.
Well, he kept his eyes on it the whole time, Bob, and that's why he took the mark. As you said, 45 metres. This will be a handy one if he can kick this. And he has kicked it. So a very handy goal to the Roys.
There we see the score, Sydney 7-4, 46. Fitzroy 8-8, 56. Again, I thought it was a pretty soft piece of defensive work there from the Sydney Swans. Although it wasn't a bad mark by Stevens, I thought Browning could have got himself in a little bit closer to Stevens and thumped that ball away. He had a couple of opportunities to do so, and it was just very soft, which is evident in the whole Swans game at the minute.
Browning being taken off, Barry.
Well, I'll tell you, I think because of that mark too. I think that Tommy felt he got it a bit too easily, but I tell you, he's doing a great job. Scotty Clayton's doing a great job on Williams in the centre of the ground. Holden's had a pretty good quarter. Leon Harris playing down there on Mitchell. They're manning up, I think, the Fitzroy side. They've got a man-on-man, and they paid the free kick there. Now it's Steve Wright. Oh, gee, they played the advantage. It's worked against Fitzroy there as Jimmy Wind has got it in the back pocket. That's working well at the moment, that manning up. 1 on 3 here, and the one nearly got it in McIver. In goes, now that was Murphy getting it across to Mitchell, And they're putting a lot of pressure on the Fitzroy side. Paul Hawkes had a quiet night, looking for Niggling, who's just come on the ground. Grabbed by Ross Thornton. Oh, this was good play, but the only one there is Dennis Carroll. Big John Ironmonger comes in the left hand. Oh, beautiful balk by the big fella. Over to Murphy. They're running around in circles under a lot of pressure at the moment. Up towards half forward, big Matt Rendell. Couldn't take it. Clayton playing, oh, he's really wearing Williams very closely. Blakey further afield to McIver. Back to Kapler. Kapler hooks it to half forward. And the rocket, Rod Carter, takes an easy mark.
Carter doing a fine job against Barwick, who has got 35 metres, and back behind the play, Richard Osman's in trouble. He caught one right in what's commonly known as the comics.
There's a red basket.
It really was a good right rip.
They couldn't afford to lose him, Bob.
There's Barwick. Oh, he'll be back. He's just winded at the moment. There's Barwick. Puts the ball forward. Not a well-placed kick. Stevens came from behind. Put the ball down. The hand pass comes over the top. Knight first on the scene. Lovely hand pass from Knight. Fitzroy teaming well together. And drive it back. McIver almost took the mark. Barwick in there underneath. And umpire Dorr will indicate that he'll bounce the ball.
He wasn't too well, Richard Osman. Right in front of the Fitzroy goal. Another one here would be very, very handy. Now, there's been some... I'm not saying that one wasn't there, but there's been a lot of free kicks tonight, a lot of ticky-touchment ones, in my opinion. Ironmonger's going for the little chip pass. This is dangerous. It comes off, though, a high tackle on... Now, is that Merv Niggling? It is, the former bomber. To Bernard Toohey. Oh, gee, they're not playing well, the Swans. They are playing poor football, as we see McIver. A beautiful pass. Richard Osman, uncontested. No one near him for 30 metres. As Mark, 25 metres out from goal, and a chance to kick his 4th goal of the game.
Well, you know, Toohey just left Richard Osman, said, well, he's in trouble. And at no stage did he have a look to see whether he was still on the ground or not.
And it's a goal, Bob.
4 goals to Richard Osman.
Once again, we see just a very bad piece of defensive work by the Swans. And I can't understand, even though Osman was heard there a short time ago, not for Toohey not to know where he was. The Swans are trying to finesse him a bit.
Richard Osman, Barry.
Well, I think I don't even consider Carter there at the moment, but just someone who's going to stick.
Barwick's not in the game at all at the moment. Trying hard, Doug Barwick, but not really in it. I just wonder if the Swans... I wonder if the Swans are having a little bit of a letdown after 2 big games against Carlton and Hawthorn.
Well, it's a big one tonight. Fitzroy are right up there amongst them, and so far taking the ball away from the Swans as Morwood gets the ball out to Bolton. High floating kick. Kapler in the front position. Laurie puts it over the line.
I think that was a free kick, but it very, very technical once again.
Browning on the boundary line. Glenn Coleman.
I think Grant
just
Laurie
behind
thinks,
Mark Browning.
I think Grant Laurie thinks it's a game of basketball tonight. Every time he goes near the ball, they free kick him.
Free kick down in the square. Not quite the square. As Graham Cordy gets a free kick against Gary Keane.
Very difficult to comment on that one because we didn't see it. But
well, I don't think the umpire, in those cases, I'm sure the umpire must have seen it, and he wouldn't give it otherwise. Keane giving away the free kick, and Graham Cordy going for goal number 2.
Right in front, and a good camera shot behind the goals as he slams it through for a gift goal. Well, the free kick was probably there, as Bob said, but a very easy way to score a goal. So the difference now is 10 points. It's still in favour of Fitzroy. The Swans have not played well in this quarter, so we're having a very evenly contested game. But I just hope the umpires decide to let it go a little bit, not play these ticky-touch-with ones. Tommy Hafey not looking very impressed as he's on the phone again, not actually talking, but he's got it ready, Bob, as usual. That phone, it's like a magnet to the ears of those coaches. 10 points the difference. I just hope the umpires let it go as we see. Well, there's Kapler nearly copied. There's another ticky-touch-with one. Well, we'll get off the umpires a bit, but they are paying a lot of those ticky-touch-with ones. Kapler centre of the ground. I think he got a bit of a surprise himself on that occasion as he goes for the long raking kick. It's a good one to Stevens, has it fisted away, still in there, Brett Stevens. Here's a chance for Armstrong, hooks it back beautifully. McGrath is there and almost a mark, and eventually it's fisted through for a behind to Fitzroy. So the Roys move on to 9-9. Sydney Swans 8-4, so the difference now 1 goal 5, a total of 11.
So Murphy takes that short pass from Carter. David Murphy puts the ball long. Gale was up high. Greg Williams couldn't quite handle it, and Dennis Carroll lends support to drive the ball up towards Bays. It's Bays and Blakey. Blakey over the line. No, they're not quite over the line. And so umpire Russo comes in and elects to bounce the ball. He'll be very close to the boundary line.
Those two were promising schoolboy players, weren't they, Bays and Blakey? They might have played in a few Teal Cup games together.
I'm sure they both did, Pete, as Rendell gets the backhander, which goes over the boundary line. So this time there'll be a throw-in. 24 hit-outs to the Swans, 7 to Fitzroy. Matt Rendell beaten for it that time, but it's a Fitzroy ball as Clayton gives it out to Harris. Harris drives the ball long. Richard Osman out in front, takes a nice mark. The very dangerous forward, Richard Osman. He's got 4 goals so far, 2 goals in each quarter. Osman goes long, down towards the square, almost a Fitzroy mark. A bounce will take place about 8 metres out from the Fitzroy goal.
That's a young Armstrong. He just jumped up at the wrong time. If he had have just held his ground and stood there, he would have had an easy chest mark. 1 goal 5, the difference. The Swans under a lot of pressure in this game. Here comes Bolton. Hand pass to Murphy. And Murphy from the half-back flank kicks it to centre wing now. 2-on-1 here, and Gale, beautiful use of the body. Kapler, oh gee, was under pressure over to Thornton. Ross Thornton left foot. Here's danger for the Swans because Osman was held by the arm, I felt, against Niggling, but the umpire let that one go. Forward pocket, and the throw-in will take place. But gee, Osman looks the danger man down there, Bob.
They've got 4 goals on the board so far, Pete. 4 out of 9. 4 to Osman, 2 to Wind. As the ball is thumped wide and over the boundary line it goes. The average marks for the year. And Fitzroy having an advantage there over the Swans. McIver up high. These have been a Swans free kick there. It's now forced wide. Mitchell gets it out to Holden. Holden towards centre wing, but Kapler stood his ground well. Plays on. He's a good player. Gives a hand pass back, got himself in a bit of trouble. Pekin takes it, puts it wide towards Rendell, and a good one-hander taken by Matt Rendell. I don't know what the crowd's yelling about because there's no doubt it was a mark.
I agree.
It was a mark and a good piece of work by Murphy to stand his ground there too.
A beautiful mark to Osman. Well, what have you got to do to take a mark? As McIver gets it across to Leon Harris, up to the forward area, bounces, and a free kick will go the way of Fitzroy. Craig McGrath looks as though, no, it's Stevens, I do feel.
What about that?
Osman's in a bit of trouble as Brett Stevens will take the free kick. Stevens has already kicked 1 goal in this quarter and done a fine job. But if that wasn't a mark to Richard Osman, I'll give it away.
That was murder. I'll tell you what, is he going to be a sore man at the end of the game? He came crunched down on his back. Stevens is right in front. These goals look easy, but when you're on the slight angle, they're not as easy as they look as he slams it through for a goal. So that was poetic justice.
Brett Stevens putting it through. Richard Osman from minor mark. It's 17 points to margin in favour of Fitzroy. 10-9 to 8-4, so a 13-point margin at quarter time. And with 1 minute of time on gone, Fitzroy have made up or gained an extra 4 points. Barry?
Yes, so I thought, as you said, poetic justice there that they got that goal because Osman certainly took that mark, and that was a very easy goal.
17 points, 1 minute into time on. Fitzroy holding the advantage as Rendell thumps the ball forward, kicked off the ground by Holden. Back to Rendell it comes. He puts the kick down towards the half-forward line. Carter punches the ball away. Osman comes onto the scene, has time to steady, puts a high kick down towards the forward area. Across the front comes McGrath. Couldn't take the mark. Tui gets the hand pass out. Mitchell on now to Healy. Healy from half back up towards centre wing. Morwood out in front. Punched away from Moore, but in the back is the free kick. And Tony Morwood will take the kick.
Well, young Michael Gale, I reckon he's doing a good job on Tony Morwood. He's playing close, he's playing hard, he's putting him under a lot of pressure. It's a good pass and a good lead by Cordy. Cordy to Mitchell, who's been very quiet, Barry Mitchell tonight. Up to Kappa. Kappa's been a good player. Now threw that away. And if a Fitzroy player had have grabbed him by the jumper, then that would have been holding the ball. It's on half-forward flank. 31 frees average to Sydney for the year, to Fitzroy's 22. So the Swans have had a pretty good go with the umpiring decisions, but that's probably due to the fact they get in first for the ball. There's Leon Harris, was grabbed by the jumper as he went for that. Half-back flank to Thornton. A little chip pass across to Pekin. This has been Fitzroy's quarter. No doubt they've played the better football. He's under pressure to Matt Rendell, who does a bit of fancy work too on the left foot. And Rod Carter has never covered so much territory in all his life as tonight, chasing Barwick. Tui on the left foot to centre wing. Three players flew. It was nearly a mark again to Fitzroy. Grabbed by Rendell. Straight to his opposite, Ruckman, in the big fella Ironmonger.
It's a hand pass across to Carter. Nice place kick from Carter. Healy, the left foot kick from Healy. Out of bounds on the full for mine. Hawk took the mark.
They're under pressure all the time, Bob.
They certainly
tonight,
are.
the Swans.
David Parkin with his co-selector, Ken Herbert. And I'm sure they'd be delighted so far.
I just think they're trying to finesse too much, and they're not playing well enough to get away with it at the moment. They're just always concentrating and getting the ball long down into their forward line.
Ironmonger up high, couldn't take the mark. Neither could McGrath. It comes back to Murphy. A quick hand pass taken by Mitchell, starting to come into the game. Well trapped by Blakey. That's excellent play to John Blakey. He had to desperately dive forward, and Fitzroy showing far more desperation than the Swans.
Well, I think Bob and Barry, everyone thought that they'd win comfortably, including the three of us. Thought that the Swans would win this comfortably tonight.
Didn't you listen before the game?
What did you say?
I said it'd be very close. Grant Laurie slides out in front, and Laurie, I think, starting to lift his confidence. It was Barry Breen who said they'd win comfortably.
Oh, was it?
Laurie goes across the ground, and Armstrong, lovely mark. Onto Pekin, doing an excellent job. Pekin goes long. Stevens punches the ball away. McGrath, hand pass over the top. Barwick has it punched away. Good play by Niggling. Very close to the boundary line. He takes it through for 1 point, and a rush point to Fitzroy, and they go to 10-10-70. Swans 8-4-52.
Well, a very impressive quarter this by Fitzroy. In fact, they should be further in front as we see Merv Niggling kicking out. Good mark is taken out there by Craig McGrath. He's not under much pressure as he brings it towards half forward. Here's a chance for Osman. It's over the back. Henwood, went for it one-handed and nearly lost it. Kicked off the ground, by Thornton, and just misses and through for a point.
They're making some mistakes, Pete. There's the scoreline again, 8-4-52, the Swans. Fitzroy, 10-11-71.
Well, they haven't got that same zip tonight as we normally see from the Swans. There's Fitzroy have got it, though, at the moment, as they're desperate. Here's a chance for Armstrong. He's dispossessed of the ball. It's on half-forward flank for the Roys, but, Bobby, they're playing good, strong football.
They're leading the Swans to the ball, and they're doing everything that one could ask, or David Parkin could ask at the moment. By far the better side. A 19-point advantage as the half-time siren goes, and at the long break it's the Sydney Swans 8-4-52, trailing Fitzroy on 10-11-71.
Most of the public areas are full. I think that's where we seem to lose sight of it a little bit.
19-point the margin at half-time. Can the Swans make another revival? At this stage, I think they're a little lucky to be only 19 points down, as Tony Morwood slid in there, the loose ball coming up, but a free kick has been found, and Tony Morwood will be the recipient. No, it is not. Yes, it is Tony Morwood. Morwood towards centre half forward. Capper up high, tapped on by Keane. Hawke takes possession of the ball, breaks the tackle. A quick hand pass across to Bolton. Bolton runs across. hooks the ball over the shoulder, down towards the forward pocket. Offline though, out of bounds on the full, and the resultant free kick will be taken by Grant Laurie.
Laurie, a big task awaits him because Kappa's kicked 4. Oh, gee, that pass was wild, and half-back flank for Fitzroy. But I mentioned Kappa's been very impressive tonight. He's been playing in front. There's Tommy Hope. It didn't take him long to get on the phone. But a vital quarter, this one. Fitzroy, of course, finished all over Essendon in their last game. They finished very, very strongly. Half-forward flank, and umpire Russo will come in and bounce it. But I mentioned Kappa has been very impressive tonight. He's been chasing, he's been leading up the ground, kicked for himself, and was responsible for another one. So doing his job. It's still on that half-forward line as Hawke, the bottom of the pack. It's a stalemate, and eventually the ball is forced over the line.
So the throw in, midway between forward pocket and half-forward flank for the Swans. 1.5 minutes have gone. No score so far in this third term as Tony Morwood punches it, goes after it again, but it's back over the boundary line. 50 metres out from the Swans' goal, another throw-in. No change to the half-time score. 19 points the margin as Rendell gets the tap down. It's picked up by Williams. The hand pass goes straight to Bolton. Gets it back to Williams, across to Morwood. Morwood's hand pass missed the player it was meant for. Murphy takes it. It was smothered. Comes out towards Healy, across to Williams. Williams a quick hand pass to Hawke. Hawke under pressure. They're under pressure most of the time. Kicked off the ground by Bolton. He's able to get it out again. Mitchell across now to Healy. Healy hooks the ball over the shoulder down towards the forward area. Kappa up high. Couldn't take it on the second grab. And it's Fitzroy who tap it wide. Thornton first on the scene. A quick hand pass finds Pekin. On now to Kapla. And Darren Kapla has plenty of time to steady. Drives the ball long. McGrath in front. It's punched away from McGrath. Picked up by Ironmonger. The nice hand pass finds Niggling. Niggling towards centre half forward. Kappa threw it out almost. Taken by Morwood. He's able to tap the ball on. Desperate footballers. Murphy picks it up for the Swans. Murphy goes short across the ground and finds Gerard Healy.
Healy, a long, long way out from goal. This is where Richard Osman kicked the goal from, but certainly a drop punt would be no chance. 9 kicks for the game. Gerard Healy, now is he going the top? No, he's going for the drop punt, setting it up for Kappa, who was caught behind on that occasion. Ross Thornton, well done, towards the half-back line where the mark, a nice mark, has been taken for the Swans by David Bolton. He wanted to play on. Now he should have a shot for goal. He'll kick it from around about 50 metres. So 16 disposals so far in the match to Bolton, off the side of the boot. Oh, Kappa now, was that a free kick? No, said the umpire. He was shoved out of it then, Kappa, when the ball wasn't within 5 metres. It was in the side.
Would have got in the first quarter.
Yes, I think so. Maybe the umpires have changed their tune a little bit. Forward pocket. Over the back, Glenn Coleman is on the ground. There's Clayton, done a great job on Williams. Oh, nearly a clash. Good play by McGrath. Strong play. Oh, still in possession. Oh, beautiful hand pass to Barwick from McIver. Here's danger up towards the forward line. Oh, gee, some strong work, a strong clash, and the umpire said it was in the back to Wayne Henwood at centre half back.
Henwood has been a good solid player down there in the last line of defence, in the back pocket. Wayne Henwood now, up over the half back line. Comes wide. Tui has given the lead. Has time to steady. Not a good kick from Tui. Drops short and a nice mark to Gary Keane. Quick hand pass from Keane, goes straight out to Wind. Wind up towards the half-forward line. McGrath leads in the race for the ball. An awkward one for him, though. Tui, Carter coming over the top. And so McGrath having no chance. And umpire Dorr comes in to indicate that he'll bounce the ball across the half-forward line for Fitzroy. Ironmonger wins the tap. Well taken that time by Mitchell. Mitchell kick floating around, and Gary Keane, that's a lovely mark.
He's played well, Bob. He's played a terrific game at centre half back. Keane, he's been strong and steady all night. It's an ordinary looking kick though. allows Tony Morwood to get away from Gale. Gee, you can't afford that out on any ground, let alone the Sydney Cricket Ground. Gale, well done, though, as he gets it to Thornton. They're backing up beautifully, Fitzroy. Out wide is Pekin. He doesn't get the bounce of the ball. Healy waits, caught with the ball. No, a beautiful break of the tackle that was. Kicks it wide, looking for Kappa, who flies. Couldn't take it. Over the back is Laurie. Laurie to Rendell. Rendell wide. And that was beautiful, backing up to Ross Thornton. Thornton a chip pass towards centre wing, where Tim Pekin wants Kapler to come past. Eventually, that's a free kick. It must be. Yes, a trip against Merv Deagle, and it goes to Richard Osman. A long, long way out from goal on half-forward flank.
He certainly won't kick this one. Has kicked 4 goals to date, but at this stage he's about 80 metres out from goal. But here's a beautiful kick of the football. Swinging wide, centre-half forward. McGrath brings the ball down to the ground. Murphy takes the ball off Mitchell. Gives it across now to Holden. Holden goes wide. Can Richard Osman keep it in play? He cannot, and so a boundary throw-in to take place. Centre wing, outer side of the ground.
It was clever play, actually, by Holden. The only
no
players out there were Fitzroy players, and he saw that.
The fans we're looking at now were about the only ones he had to kick it to, and he bounced it over the line. Williams couldn't take possession. Hasn't been a great game by Williams, even when he's had a chance of getting it, but Thornton has played a great game. Puts it wider, pushing them back against Armstrong. And Craig Holden, who's played a pretty good game, Barry.
I think he has. He's one of the few Swans players that's contributed all night, Bob. And again, there, a little bit of desperation. Saw him rewarded with a free kick.
Good mark there almost to Craig McGrath. Picked up by Carter. He was tackled, lost it. The loose ball comes out to Carroll. Well smothered there by Clayton. Kicked off the ground by Hawke, down towards the forward area where Murphy comes, Mitchell, I should say, comes after it. A quick hand pass to Hawke. Likewise across to Carroll, who gives a long hand pass down. Tapped away that time by Laurie. Picked up by Hawke. Well smothered by Clayton. That's beautiful play by Scott Clayton.
He's honest, Bob. He is that honest, Scott Clayton. He just keeps going for 120 minutes. Half-back flank for Fitzroy. Rendell battling hard in the ruck. There's the man we're talking about, Clayton. He went for the boundary line with a wobbly kick because he had no one to give it to. Gerard Healy, been one of the Swans' better players, towards half-forward. Fisted away by Keane. Paul Hawke has had a quiet night. Gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell's been under pressure all night too, and he puts it out of bounds on the full. And John Blakey will take the free kick. A hand pass to Rendell, who's in trouble, but he gets away to Scott Knight. Further afield to Jimmy Wind. He's tackled. Back to Knight. Knight further afield to Pekin. Back to Knight. That was brilliant backing up. Out wide to Osman and Armstrong. Now Osman, with superior pace, leads in the race for the ball. Breaks that tackle magnificently. Onto the left foot. Brings it back to full forward. No one there for Fitzroy. The only man there is Toohey. Now, this will be 1-on-2 here. Fitzroy should get this. Brilliant play by Clayton. Clayton on the left foot. Once again, it's 2-on-1, but this time in favour of the Swans. Ironmonger does the roving. Over to Toohey. Toohey to Carroll. Gee, good backing up in the finish. Toohey, a hurry kick down towards centre wing. 3-on-1 here. Rendell beautifully towards half forward. McGrath round the neck. No, said the umpire. Knight was grabbed when he didn't have it. Pekin brilliantly done. A great smother. Back to Knight, and here's a chance for Matthew Armstrong as he races towards the half forward line. A lot of pace though, David Murphy. I think he punched that away. No, said the umpire. He said he actually dropped it.
So Murphy gives it across to Toohey. Toohey goes long. Gale in position to take the mark, but coming across the front of Gale is Gary Coon, who's played superbly at centre half back. Keane across the ground. Barwick coming right up the ground. I think he would have been told to run Carter around a bit, and that's exactly what he's doing. Barwick puts the ball down where McIver used his body beautifully. Scott McIver from 45 metres out floats the ball towards goal. It's a ripper! Great goal, Scott McIver! 11-11, 77. Fitzroy, 8-4, 52.
That was a great piece of work from Fitzroy, and we saw that goal capped off from great work further up the ground. We just don't quite see how that went on, but we see McIver use his body brilliantly against Carroll, left him floundering behind, and it really was a great kick for goal. Probably a lucky one, but when you're playing as well as Fitzroy at the moment, they're the ones that come off for you. Peter.
25 points the difference, and they're playing well, the Roys. Tony Morwood at the back of the pack, onto the left foot, up high, Kappa Oh, gee, two players flew for that one for the Swans, as we see coming away with a Grant Laurie. Kepler should keep this in play. Oh, he goes for the long hand pass. It's a beautiful one, though, to Laurie. Here they go again, the Roys. Thornton. Further afield to Kepler. Rendell kicks straight across the ground, which was good play because he had a loose man in Knight. Knight goes for home with the raking kick. Osman, oh, good mark. Picks it up, hooks it back. That deserved a goal.
No, you're going to pay the mark, I think.
Is he going? I thought it was a mark, but I wonder if the umpire paid
No, he's
it.
paid the free.
No, it was a mark to... Oh.
Hold on,
The mark for mine.
Gee, I thought it was a mark, but whether the umpire just said he played on, maybe he didn't realise he'd been paid the mark. But nevertheless, the score is 52-78. 26 points the difference as Bolton from centre half back. Oh, they've been under pressure all night, the Swans. There's Henwood. Down towards half forward. Good use of the body by Healy to Graham Cordy. Cordy too slow to get rid of it. I would have penalised that because that was a top tackle. In goes Armstrong, dives on the ball, and in will come up by a door to bounce. That was a great tackle on
I do agree
Cordy.
with you, Pete. No, he came from behind. He didn't ride the player into the ground. He just tackled beautifully, and it deserved a free kick. Fitzroy doing everything right. Coleman there. Tried to kick it. Kicked off the ground this time by Harris. It comes out towards the two little Rovers. Right wings out against wing. Does it beautifully. Couple of bounces. Too close to the man though, but still able to get the kick down towards the pocket. Over the line on the full mark. Whatever you like, and it's Gary Keane.
Gee, are they playing poorly or what?
So Keane with the ball as Coleman comes off the ground. Bay's back on. Long kick by Keane. Punched away that time. Well taken by Williams. Ironmonger tapped it down. Healy couldn't take it. Peeking in there with him. Knight comes in to lend support. A trip must be the way of Fitzroy. And so once again, the defence standing ground well. There's big Matt Rendell.
He's doing well round the ground, Bob.
Played a superb game around the ground.
Oh, look at this.
Goes across the ground this time where Thornton's left on his own. Paul Hook, where were you? There's Ross Thornton. Taken by Armstrong. Kepler over the top to Pekin. Gives it back out wide to Armstrong. Armstrong puts the ball high down towards the pocket. Osman was up, couldn't take the mark. Coming through, Stevens off the side of the boot, down towards the forward pocket. Henwood first on the scene. A good hip and shoulder, but a nice handball came out there to Niggling from Henwood. Oh, free kick. No, called the umpire. It was Cordy's hand pass was smothered by Wynn, playing an excellent game. He gets the hand pass in. Over the line it goes as Stevie Wright puts Blakey in amongst the interchange bench, and Fitzroy doing everything right.
Tommy Hafey looks a worried man. Handball's nothing in it at this stage, but Fitzroy's certainly been far more decisive. There's Philip Knight. Over it goes to Ross Thornton. He runs to the 55-metre mark and kicks it high. Osman might... Oh, goal this will be. Did it hit the post or is it a goal? I think it's a goal. It is. Oh, gee, they can't do a thing wrong, the Roys.
There we see the score, 8-4-52, Sydney. Fitzroy leading 11-12-78. 11-12, 12-12, 84. Again, we see on replay here how well Fitzroy are backing each other up. And again, well clear of any Swan defender. And Thornton just runs into the open goal and lets fly. It was a magnificent kick and a great piece of shepherding there from Richard Osman.
84-52. No score to the Swans so far in this quarter as Gerard Healy forces the ball out wide. Keane first on the scene, got the hand pass in. Kepler comes out, playing another excellent game. He really does impress me, Darren Kepler. And as he gets it down to Leon Harris, he taps the ball on. Back to Harris it comes. A free kick it was, but he didn't wait for that. Gets it straight out to Scott Clayton, who drives the ball down long, looking for Richard Osman. Osman and Niggling were both there, and over the line it goes for a throw-in.
And Merv Niggling, as we see the kicks in the game in favour of Fitzroy, only by 13. So I don't think that's a measure of how well Fitzroy are playing, though, as the ball is brought back towards the half-back line. A free kick and a 15-metre penalty to the Sydney Swans. Mitchell towards Bays, but oh, geez, played a ripper game. Gary Keane tonight as he chips it across to Barwick. And I'll tell you what, Don't worry about the distance here. He'll kick from 53 or 4 metres, but this man, in my opinion, is a certainty to make the distance at least. Now, Barwick, one of the longest kicks in league football, has 7 kicks tonight, yet to score a goal, but has kicked 35 for the season, Doug Barwick. Now, let's see if he lets me down or not. Goes for the drop punt. Oh, look at that for a kick. It's a beautiful kick goal.
And certainly a lovely kick. And
there
now,
we see the scoreline once again, 8-4-52, the Sydney Swans, Fitzroy 13-12-90. And that was a fine piece of work further up the field from Keane, who's having a good night, and got the ball to Barwick, and who sent that magnificent drop punt all the way through to score a wonderful goal.
that goal by Barwick puts he and Kappa equal at the moment with 36 goals apiece.
And Rod Carter has never covered so much territory in all his life, Bobby.
Yes, Rocket Rod might sleep tonight. Yes, from the tap out, it's kicked off the ground by Clayton. Dennis Carroll's there. Puts the ball high in the air, down towards half forward. Tony Morwood stands his ground well and takes a fine mark. And Morwood thought about hand passing to Bolton, but ignored that one. He's got Kappa down there. He'll go long, hoping for Kappa at the back. Punched away from Kappa though. Leon Harris comes in. Lending support is Jim Wind. Clayton, being told by Michael Gale exactly where he stands, puts the ball wide, and a nice mark taken down there by Craig McGrath. McGrath hand passes on immediately, finds Rendell doing a fine job around the ground, steadies, puts the ball down towards half forward. Will it bounce away from Ironmonger? No, he gets a favourable bounce. Hand passes to Niggling, who does likewise to Henwood. Henwood steadies things up temporarily, but it's all Fitzroy as Keane comes out and takes yet another mark.
Bobby, they've got big problems, the Swans at centre half forward, because they've been absolutely annihilated there tonight. Keane has been like the Rock of Gibraltar as he goes for the wobbly punt. Oh, gee, Ironmonger couldn't trap it. Henwood was there, but
Well, he's the man I'd try there tonight, even though he's doing a good job down there.
I agree.
They've got to do something up forward, and Henwood could be just the man.
And he does take a strong mark, and he's a great contester. It's fisted away. Jimmy Wind, oh, beautiful play. A terrific balk that was. To Pekin to Kepler from the half back line. They're backing up beautifully. Wind will probably give this to Clayton or Harris. He picks out to Harris, over to McIver. Look at the running. Over to Pekin. Now to Thornton. Thornton a chance to kick his second goal tonight. But it's taken away again by Henwood. Henwood out wide. Matt Rendell against 2 Swans players. He'll have his work cut out here, but Healy slips over. It's not their night, I don't think, the Sydney Swans, because Keane is having a great night. Still keeps it in play. Paul Hawke grabbed off the ball. It was lying over it, but the umpire said it was holding the man. But they're not playing good football at all, Barry, the Swans.
No, that's a perfect example there. Hawke hasn't had many kicks tonight after his fine game last week, but they're just got too many players down at the moment.
18 minutes have gone. The Swans have not scored in this third term, as Rendell, doing an excellent job, takes the ball over the fence, and Rendell there, well, certainly hope he's not hurt. It doesn't look as though he is, but you can actually fall awkwardly, as on replay we see Matt Rendell coming over now. He does fall awkwardly, and I hope Rendell is okay. Gets a free kick for the push in the back, and Rendell does look okay, so that's good for Fitzroy.
I don't know who they're booing. I hope they're not booing Rendell. Was it his fault?
Rendell puts the kick forward, punched away by Ironmonger, but it's all Fitzroy. Keane's there once again. A superb game he's playing. Richard Osman at the back, couldn't quite take the mark. Taps it on, gets the kick forward. If it bounces right for this player, he'll give it back to Osman. He misses it. That looked like McGrath who gave it across. And Stevens it was. Henwood picked the ball up into the centre to Tony Morwood, and he takes the mark. I don't know what you think, Barry, but I'd have Henwood on the forward line.
Well, I think he's done a fine job down there in the back line tonight, Bob. I'd give him a try.
Kappa up high, takes the mark.
And a stupid bit of play. No, I thought he was going to play the 15 metres then as the kick comes across the base. I thought that was silly play by the Fitzroy player. Might have put Kappa within distance, but quick thinking by Kappa to give it further across to Mark Bayes. Mark, he's been disappointing the last couple of weeks we've seen him, Bob.
It doesn't work hard enough.
Well, he's got a chance to kick a goal here, and a badly needed one to the Swans, as it is a beautiful looking kick, and he slams it through for a goal.
There we see the score, Sydney 9-4-58, Fitzroy 13-12-80. And in that piece of play, we saw the first positive bit of work from the Swans in that quarter. It started with Henwood further down the ground, went to Tony Morwood, Kappa took a fine mark there and then short passed the ball onto Bays, who finished the work off. There must be a lot more of that from the Swans in the next quarter and a bit if they're going to get back in this game.
$58-90 in favour of Fitzroy.
I noticed they got Mark Browning down in the forward pocket, Bob.
32 points the margin. Well, I think it's more the key forward position that they want, because Gary Keane is absolutely dominated. Holden, Fitzroy player down behind players. We see Gale leading the race for the ball. Hooks it over the shoulder, down towards the forward pocket. Over the line it goes, actually on half forward flank. As we see Matthew Armstrong down there, holding the thigh. Let's hope it's not too badly injured. Clayton puts the ball forward for Fitzroy. At the back, it's Niggling. Could be a free kick to the Swans. And Tiggy Touchwood free kick, according to Peter McKenna.
Oh, definitely.
Fans a bit quiet tonight. As Henwood again brings the ball away. Runs past the injured Armstrong. Puts the ball long. Punched away by Gale. Taken by Hawke. A quick hand pass finds Bays. Bays now goes long. Down towards Kappa and Laurie. Kappa comes around, plays on. Through it goes. A good goal to Kappa. 5 to Kappa. 5 goals to worry Kappa. And it's 13-12, 90 Fitzroy, 10-4, 64 the Swans.
Again, that piece of work was started by Wayne Henwood further up the ground, and Bays featuring the play again. Here we see on replay, getting the ball out to Bays, who centres the ball very well for Kappa to position himself. Great piece of work from Kappa here. He got in front and took a great mark. Kicked an easy goal.
I hope he is right. Bays is at centre half forward. He's kicked one and got the last one forward as Armstrong looks in a bit of pain.
Well, when they could get it quickly to Kappa, so he's one out with Grant Laurie, that's when the Swans look good. 10-4 to 13-12. The Swans are starting to come back a little bit. They're still a fair way behind, so we've been playing almost 22 and a half minutes into this third quarter, and the difference is 3 goals, 8. So 4 goals, 2. They have to catch up, 26 points. So still a fair bit of a lead to Fitzroy, but the Swans have certainly looked better. There's Rod Carter up in the centre of the ground. That's how far Barwick, how much territory he's covering. Ross Thornton picks it up on the left foot. A good duel going on here. Oh, here's a chance over the back to McGrath. He's got it too. He fires a goal. It could be a goal. It bounces. Henwood desperately dives at it, but it was the wrong side of the post anyway. So the difference now is 25 points. Henwood kicking in from full-back. A long kick towards the centre of the ground. Scott Clayton goes up, eyes on the ball. It was a top mark to Clayton. Oh, he's got a man to give it to. Is that Barwick on his own out wide? Let's see who it is. In fact, it's Keith Thomas, who has come on the ground, interchange in place of Matthew Armstrong, who was hoppling around on the boundary line as we talk. Oh, poor play. I think from there you should have a shot every time unless the man is completely unguarded.
A good play by Stevie Wright, though. He came across and cut off the lead. As Armstrong on the boundary line, being spoken to about his injury. And as I said, it was good play by Stevie Wright, who cut off that lead by Richard Osman. The big punch comes out to Murphy, well tackled. Tapped on that time by Wright. Forced forward by Holden. Healy's there, under pressure from Kapler. Actually could have given away a free kick as Wynn comes in and forced the ball over the line. Those small men for Fitzroy doing an excellent job for their side. 23 free kicks to 19. Fairly close as Ironmonger got the tap down. Murphy puts the ball forward. Blakey tried to take it. Browning does, gets it up forward. Poor kick, goes straight to the opposition. Laurie wins possession. A nice hand pass finds the big fellow in Rendell. Into the centre, Keane. A long kick from Keane. Henwood, right on the last line of defence. Henwood forced it over the boundary line. And could be a free kick to Henwood. He was pushed into the fence after he got rid of the ball. And, or is it gone the other way? A deliberate, is that the way he's playing it?
Yes, deliberate.
Well, a little technical for mine. What do you think, Barry?
Well, I thought it was a little bit technical, but that's the way they've been all night. So at least they've been consistent about being technical.
Stevens runs around, plays on, and puts it through for 1 point. 1 point to Fitzroy. Takes them to 13-14-92. The Swans 10-4-64.
I hope Fitzroy don't fall for the trap of just kicking it high to Osman and co up in the forward line all the time, because Gary Keane just a moment ago did that when Osman had made a lead on his own. There's the kick out to McGrath. McGrath's got a loose man further afield, and the mark has been taken by Brett Stevens, the man who had the shot for goal a moment ago. 15-metre penalty, not good play by Bolton, and he's going to report him, I think. Yes, I think David Bolton must have said something, I think, Bob. It'd have to be with the mouth, because in no way known he can be reported for anything else. Bernard Toohey had his...
I can't believe this.
Well, I think it'd have to be with the mouth, Bobby, because...
I don't think so. I think he's just said that he was deliberately wasting time. Now, that's a joke.
I've got a feeling Bolton might have said something, Bob, the way the umpire ran in. There's the kick from Stevens, and he's hooked it and through for a point. But that's the second player has had his number taken for the Swans. Bernard Toohey has got to front the tribunal. 10-4 Sydney. A bit frustrated they are at the moment. Fitzroy on 13-15, so that's 3 goals 11 the difference. So a great lead to the Roys. Up towards Morwood. Over the back is Gale, his opponent. Hand pass to Ross Thornton. Reliable Thornton out to Kapler. Steve Wright has been very, very quiet tonight. Out wide to Holden. Gee, they're just not getting that flow on game going. Towards half-forward, the mark has been taken by Hawke. That should be a 15-metre penalty. Although he was attempting to play on, his umpire's taken him back a good 25 metres. Hawke setting it up for Tony Morwood. Rendell's there also, and Gale, and the ball rolls over the line, deep in the forward pocket at the 27-minute mark of the third quarter.
As Mark Bayes comes back, Graham Cordy on the interchange bench. 2 goals during the second term. Harris takes the ball away in towards the centre of the ground, and a good strong mark to the big fellow John Ironmonger. Hand passes immediately to his skipper in Dennis Carroll. Kick goes off the side of the boot. Leon Harris up and down before acceptances. Blakey tried to force the ball through, could not do so. Now he gets the ball out. Keane, a hand pass to Wind. Wind swings the ball back in towards the centre, and Scott McIver takes it. Comes across the ground to where Philip Knight is there. Knight with a hand pass on to Barwick. Barwick from 50 metres out. Hooks the ball back. Carroll coming out. Punched away by Stevens. Keith Thomas comes on the scene. Can't handle the ball cleanly. Well smothered. It comes back towards Stevens, who dives in there underneath. Holden comes on the scene once again. So too Murphy. And Murphy sees the ball go over the boundary line for a throw in.
Bobby, I still think Fitzroy are blazing it too high to their forward line, and those big blokes are punching it away. If they use Osman and Barwick properly, they'll cut them to pieces up there as the kick comes out of defence, right down towards centre wing. Keane has looked terrific tonight, and so has this little fella, Jimmy Wind, as the siren sounds to end a great third quarter again by Fitzroy. The honours certainly in their favour at 3/4 time. The Roys 13-15, 93, lead the Sydney Swans 10-4, 64.
2 straight goals for the Sydney Swans. No. Final term about to start here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. 29 points in favour of Fitzroy. Can the Swans come back? No clear tap from the centre. Tap down again. Players coming in from everywhere. We could see another bounce as Bolton was tackled too high, and he'll come out with the free kick. Swan supporters trying to gee them up as Carroll takes it away from Bolton, puts the long kick down to the forward line, and Kappa could easily have got a push in the back. Desperation plus as we see Wind not too happy about things, and was it a free kick to Browning, Pete?
Well, I've given up trying to work them out tonight, Bob. I think they've been very, very technical tonight. Now, Browning is a great kick. He will kick from about 52 or 3 metres. He's on the right side of the ground for a left footer, and this might be what they need. A great goal from Mark Browning would certainly lift their spirits. Look at that for a kick. A magnificent goal to Mark Browning. Well, if anything's going to lift them, that might. Browning was down early in the game. He's now playing on the forward line. They're not far behind. 11-4, 70 to 13-15, 93, so it's only 23 points the difference.
On replay, Mark Browning kicking from 53 metres out, puts it through, midway through post height. A magnificent goal. A great morale booster, possibly. 23 points the margin. Tap wide by Pekin. Taken away by Murphy. Put high in the air. Morwood comes out. Takes a fine mark. Morwood steadies. Off the side of the boot. Looking for Henwood. Down on the forward line now. And it looks like Wayne Henwood has lined up at centre-half forward.
Must have heard what you said, Bob. I think he's put Henwood to centre-half forward. He's virtually swung the whole side around.
Mark Bays down there in the back pocket. Scott Clayton has done a magnificent job tonight. Puts it up towards centre wing. Oh, beautiful play, McIver. Gets it down to Thomas. Quick left foot from Thomas towards half forward. Barwick bundled out, but it's Richard Osman who leads in the race for the ball. Osman steadies, straightens up, goes towards goal. He's hooked it. 1 point only to Richard Osman.
Actually, no one ran at Osman then, and he got a heck of a surprise when he turned around and thought, well, I can have an easy shot for goal.
Bolton took off and ran the other way with his man.
That's right. He went with his man and didn't run in to meet him, and Osman got a shock. In fact, he should have kicked that goal as it dived. That was a nice mark by Dennis Carroll. Maybe the Swans, they're a great fighting side. They'll come back to Greg Williams. Williams looking for Mitchell. No, he elects to kick it to Kappa. Kappa and Laurie. Kappa couldn't take that one. A chance for Henwood. He'll make a difference on the forward line. Henwood hooks it back at the goals. He's kicked a miraculous one. No, he's missed. He's missed. But a very, very good attempt. I thought by the crowd reaction he kicked that. Gee, they're coming back a little bit. 23 points the difference at the 3-minute mark, final quarter.
Kicking, Pete. 29 scoring shots to 16, and that's about the way the game's gone. The crowd chant, hoping to get them back into things. Give them a lift as Keane gets them all across. Taken by Thornton.
Down towards half forward where it has been taken by Barwick. Further afield to come, but here come the Roys, not to be denied. It's grabbed by Kapler. He swings onto the left foot. Can they reply? Osman, look at this. Shepherd, touch, was it? No, I don't think so. It's a goal, and the Roys reply with a great goal. And, well, there's Darren Kapler. Good play by the Roys. Good shepherding Richard Osman again, Barry.
Great shepherding from Richard Osman, and here we see Kapler well balanced on his left foot, and he's a great kicker of the football too, as most left footers are these days, or always have been, and well shepherded there once again. Great shepherd from Osman.
Yes, excellent piece of play there. Back with the centre bounce, and that's answering it very quickly. Ironmonger grabs it across to Williams. Williams straight down the ground towards half forward. Henwood takes the mark. Straight away, gives it across to Murphy. Mitchell, I should say. Mitchell puts it off the side of the boot, and away, over the boundary line it goes, and a throw-in to take place.
Bobby, I'm convinced Henwood has to play at centre-half forward.
Yes, but he has disappointed a couple of times there. I think he's got to move around, play in the back pocket, play at centre-half forward, but tonight he should have been there earlier. As Leon Harris picks it up, tries to tap it out wide. Does so. The loose ball comes to Clayton. He's trying to punch the ball away, and umpire Russo comes in to indicate that he'll bounce the ball.
The Roys have been able to answer as we see a shot of the Fitzroy cheer squad there. They've got plenty of supporters up here tonight too. But Fitzroy have been able to reply every time the Swans have looked like getting a bit of a run on. The Roys have hit back hard. It's half forward flank for the Swans. Morwood doing the ruck work with the left hand. Thornton, a hurried kick. Thomas waits back for it, and he does the right thing there. Instead of flying against his teammate, he brings it down. Big Ironmonger, as they say, John Newman in Melbourne would say, he moved like a glacier. The umpire's found a free kick. He's got to come back to half-back, and Bernard Toohey, who had his number taken early in the game, got to front the tribunal. Bernard, now off he goes from half-back flank. A high drop punt. Rendell should mark. No, he elects not to go for that mark. Morwood was there. And Gale. Gale gives it to Harris. Harris hooks it back to half forward. Scott McIver is there. He's got it too. Beautifully rides the bump. And over to Stevens. He's got a loose man in Osman in the goal square. Richard Osman straightens up, slams at goal. And I think he's missed from 10 metres. And he hangs his head in shame.
A great piece of work there from Rod Carter, who covered a lot of ground to pick Osman up there, and whether he just put him off at that last minute, but it was a great determined effort from Carter.
Great work also by Scott McIver. Rode the bump. Beautiful hand pass. Both ruckmen tried to punch it down. Rendell got the best of the tap. Driven forward by Knight. The back of the pack it comes. It's Niggling, Osman. Over the line it goes, and it's through for one rush point.
Graham Cordy about to come on and Bernard Toohey off. Now, it'll be interesting to see where Cordy, whether he actually goes to the half-back flank. Bolton receives the kick in from Bays. Now, Bolton, 1 out, Toohey's about to go off the ground, and he ends up doing a bit of the wrestling there. Morwood towards half-forward. Kappa, out he comes. Over the back of the pack. It's kicked off the ground. Straight to Lux of Fortune, because the only man waiting for it was Ross Thornton. Toohey is actually off the ground and Cordy on. Thornton brings it close to the boundary line. McIver has it fisted away by Carroll. Good play, McIver, though. That could have been in the back. No, said the umpire. Back it comes to Murphy, who's had a quiet night after a great start. Off the ground by Mitchell. Fisted away. Back to Williams, who's been worn like a glove by Clayton. Oh, free kick to Williams. Don't ask me what for, but it's been paid to Bolton. Bolton runs around. He's caught now. I would have paid that against him. A couple of times now he's tried to do too much, Bolton. Hand pass to Wind, who had a great start to the game. Ironmonger. No mark, said the umpire to Fitzroy. Back it comes to Greg Williams. This has been one of his quietest nights ever. Gerard Healy to Bolton, who marks on half-forward flank.
So Bolton, Healy was hoping to take it back, but a good play by Thornton. Smothered any chance of it there.
8 kicks and 8 handballs to Greg Williams.
Well, it is a quiet night as Bolton with 20 possessions. Floats the kick forward, but that's a good solid mark in front. Not paid to Rendell. And they're making them earn the marks tonight. I suppose that's fair enough as long as they're consistent. Browning got the hand pass in. The loose ball comes out. Now that's holding the man to Wind. And so Jim Wind, who's done a superb job tonight against Steve Wright, will take the free kick.
Well, those smaller Swans players we've hardly sighted all night, Bob.
Oh, well, there we can see Craig Davis having a word as Wind goes short, finds Rendell, and Matt Rendell comes across the ground. Pekin has made position well. The Swans not chasing. They have been chasing all night, but not in the manner that one requires. As Keane, the poor hand pass. Henwood coming through shows great strength. Bolton tackled too high, will take the free kick. Not good play by Gary Keane. Bolton gives it across to Williams. Williams goes forward. Laurie out in front, though, takes the mark. And the Fitzroy defence doing an excellent job as Grant Laurie comes across the ground, looks for Philip Knight. Holden does well to come down. Holding the man should go the way of Craig Holden, but Fitzroy giving away those professional free kicks and doing them well. Cross towards centre half forward. Rendell playing a superb game for mine, Barry.
I think he's played a great game, Bob. Almost the best man on the ground for mine. He's just so mobile for a big man. Here we see on replay, miles above the other players there in a strong mark.
Well, actually, he and Ironmonger have played very, very wide of each other, except at the centre bounce. The only times they've really come together, they roam across the half-back line, both of them. There's Jimmy Wind. Hand pass to Clayton. Oh, gee, has he done his job tonight? Looks very tired now because Williams covers a lot of territory, but Knight's there to back up Clayton when he kicked into the man. Up to half-forward, punched away by Merv Neagle in the unaccustomed role of half-back flank. Dennis Carroll looking for Morwood, and Morwood cops one right in the centre of the back, and the umpire, I don't think you can argue with that one, Michael Gale.
That's Tony Morwood. Gale has been a good defender against Morwood. It's punched away from Browning. Could be a free kick the way of Mark Browning. Got a push in the back, and so he will take the free kick. About a 15-metre penalty now brings him the mark down to the 45-metre line, and so Browning will kick from 50 metres. Now, he kicked from about 53 or 54 metres out when he kicked a goal, a beautiful goal early in the quarter. So we know that Mark Browning can kick the distance. Is it asking too much to do 2 in a quarter?
Well, he can certainly make the distance, as you said. Oh, gee, that's an ordinary-looking kick on this occasion. And it was hit the post, I think. Yes, said the goal umpire. It was a point, but that was a shocker, Barry.
Certainly not the Swans' night, Peter, when you see Browning kick the ball like that. And Hafey there certainly doesn't look too happy.
Well, Tommy with a poker face, and They've certainly got their work cut out now as Kepler takes a good mark. He's a good player.
Barry.
He's done a great job tonight. It's the first time I've seen him, Bob, and very impressed with him.
Well, we saw him up against the Bears, and he played a brilliant game up there. There's Clayton getting it further afield towards the half-back line, and Gale. Now, Murphy's been pretty quiet tonight. Hand pass to Morwood, who's tried hard. Morwood, left foot, hooks it back, and he's found out Healy beautifully here. He wants someone to come past, but instead he runs to the 50-metre line and lets fly with a booming torpedo. Still in play, Kappa and Rendell. Great use of the body by Rendell. He's dispossessed of the ball. Grant Laurie with great pace. Here they come, the Roys. A hand pass further afield to Knight, who runs into all sorts of trouble. That could have been holding the ball. Laurie backs him up beautifully over to Thornton. I thought that should have been holding the ball. Punched away, and good defensive work, even though he's playing on the forward line by Scott McIver.
Yes, a great player, Scott McIver, and that was excellent play to punch the ball away. Not much in the handballs, only 10 in favour of Fitzroy. Both sides using the handball well, but the Fitzroy handball far more effective than the Swans as Paul Hawke picks it up, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Intercepted by Keith Thomas. Thomas drives the ball forward. Richard Osman dives in, so too Merv Niggling. Into the back of Niggling comes Brett Stevens. David Parkin having a word to Bob Keddy alongside him. And I would say a very happy group, the Fitzroy Brains Trust, as the free kick goes against Fitzroy, who cannot do that, Craig McGrath. And so John Ironmonger with the kick.
He doesn't want to kick it, Bob. Look, he was determined to handball it as he gets it out to Greg Williams. Oh, he's holding the ball. No, said the umpire. I thought he had plenty of time to get rid of. There's a fight on behind the play. Greg Williams and Barwick having a bit of a fist up. But as we see Dennis Carroll, that could be a free kick up the field against Richard Osman. That was after he got rid of the ball. The umpire did right there, umpire Dorr, as Osman is trying to look innocent, but Gerard Healy, a high floater. Grant Laurie and Kappa. Kappa! Oh, one of the marks of the year. Warwick Kappa up early, hung in the air and took a screamer.
Here we see on replay an absolutely perfect ride for Warwick Kappa there. Eyes on the ball. That certainly is the mark of the year for mine.
That's a great mark. It really is. 15-metre penalty brings him that much closer.
You won't see a better mark than that anywhere. And he didn't push in the back or anything. He had his eyes on the ball.
As Warwick Kappa lines up, attempting to kick goal number 6 personally. The kick from Kappa across the face of goal and through for 1 point. So 1 point to Warwick Kappa. And that roar we heard just before was exactly that. The replay being shown again on the big scoreboard. And that time we saw it was a magnificent shot by our cameraman and a great mark to Warwick Kappa as Matt Rendell takes it. Puts it out wide with a hand pass to Wind. Wind goes up towards the wing and Darren Kapler. Kapler goes long across the ground. Punched away by Bays. Bolton first on the scene, but diving in there was Stevens. And so excellent play. Fitzroy have done their work at both ends of the ground. They've contained the ball on the forward line just in the manner there as they did. 15 minutes have gone, 73 to 102. As once again, Ironmonger got it down. Mitchell put the ball forward. A bad bounce for Morwood. Taken by Healy. His hand pass comes out wide to Holden. Holden drives the ball down. Blakey up high. The loose ball comes to Kappa. Kappa goes goalward. Again offline. 1 point the result. So it's 5 goals 2 to Warwick Kappa. 11-8, 74. 14-18, 102.
15 and a half minutes gone. Kappa's certainly done his job tonight and could have actually kicked a couple more. Grant Laurie, though, at times has burst out of defence with some fine play too. Greg Williams, I said earlier, he's been worn like a glove by Clayton. Still gets a number of possessions, but not the normal Greg Williams. That was Murphy getting it back to Henwood. Henwood shoots it up now. Can Kappa take another ripper? No, he's outpointed on this occasion by Grant Laurie. It's been a good duel, that one. Laurie out wide to young Michael Gale, Tasmanian. Oh, dangerous hand pass, but it's a free kick given away. The advantage is paid as Harris gave it back to Gale. Now to Pekin. Gee, they look good when they start running, the Roys. Keith Thomas runs to the 45-metre mark. Oh, gee, he hooks it and through for 1 point. But they've matched them in every department tonight, Fitzroy. They lead 14-19, 103. Sydney Swans 11-8, 74.
29 points the margin, 16 and a half minutes into the final term as Mark Bayes puts a lovely kick in from full-back, finds Paul Hawke. Hawke wanting to get the ball moving in a hurry. He's got Craig Holden out there on centre wing. Holden being told by Healy that he's clear, so Holden has the advantage of a bounce, swings it across towards half-forward. Keane in the front position, Henwood at the back, so too Leon Harris. Henwood forces the ball forward to Browning. Browning snaps towards goal. Through the centre it goes. 12-8, 80, 14-19, 103.
And once again, Mark Browning, with that wonderful left foot of his, scoring a vital goal for the Swans to keep them in touch with Fitzroy. Browning's been quite effective for them down there on the forward line, kicking a couple of goals and missing quite an easy one there. Breaks clear of the tackle and puts it through the middle. Good work from Mark Browning there.
And Tom Hafey's been under enormous pressure tonight. Shuffled his players around.
$23 points the margin, only 18 minutes into the term, so possibly 10 minutes left. 23 points, not too great a margin. One quick goal by the Swans could make all the difference, Pete.
Well, I agree with you. Oh, he's gone to the pocket and Kappa is marked. I thought at first it was dangerous heading to the boundary line, but if Kappa can kick this one, it'd be handy. He's already kicked 5. He's kicked 2 points. 5-2. He's on a very, very acute angle, but he's an unpredictable player. Now this would be a real handy one. Oh, he floats it, hooks it, comes back and hit the top of the post. So bad luck to Warwick Kappa. That would have been a real handy one, Barry, at this stage.
That was a great kick for goal by Kappa. As we know, he's not the best at kicks from that far out, but just a fraction more and that would have been a great goal. He's certainly done his part this evening.
Laurie puts the ball back in from full-back. Kapler was up, so too Morwood. Holden's there. Great try for the Swans tonight. As Pekin got the quick hand pass out. Taken by Knight. Knight caught one after he got rid of the ball. McIver's there. Does it beautifully. Gets it across to Clayton. Clayton drives the ball down. Over the boundary line it is as Niggling and both Osman were both trying to gain possession. Over the line it went 50 metres out from the Fitzroy goal. 22 points to margin. 19 minutes have gone. Fans hoping for a quick goal by the Swans as Carter gets the thump, taken by Holden, across the right, down towards centre wing. Henwood was there, couldn't take the mark. Murphy coming through, traps it well, swings the ball towards centre half forward. Browning's there, Kappa coming through from behind, gives a hand pass across to Bolton. Bolton steadies, puts it down towards the forward pocket. Can Mitchell get there? No, he cannot, and over the line it goes for a throw-in.
And Kappa has played an excellent game down there at full forward tonight. Very unselfish. Bolton missed what he should have kicked, I think, on that occasion. It was beautifully given to him. Warwick Kappa has been terrific. Leading out in front, attacking the ball. One sensational mark a moment ago. There's Rendell, who's been great also. Hits it wide to Knight, then to Keane. Keane's had an excellent game. He punches it away. That was Rendell getting it towards half forward, or centre of the ground, I should say, where Rod Carter, I've never seen Carter so far away from the big sticks. He's right in the centre of the ground. Barwick's running him all over the place tonight, but Carter's battled very, very hard. Thornton, a real goer. To Clayton. Clayton's been an excellent player. Onto the left foot, he headed straight for the boundary line and over the line halfway between centre wing and half forward flank for the Swans. 20 and a half minutes gone. Well, not only has he stopped Greg Williams, he's had 25 kicks, Thornton.
Thornton's been on Hawke, Pete.
Thornton, I should say. Up towards half back. Bayes, he's been everywhere. I've been everywhere, man. Well, that applies to Bayes tonight. In fact, he had a spell on the bench as well. I was thinking of Clayton when I said the 25 kicks that Ross Thornton's had the 25.
Pushing the back, going the way of Mark Bayes. Playing in the back pocket at the moment. Kicked 1 goal in the third quarter. Rendell got into the back of his opponent. And big ironmonger. A quick hand pass across to Niggling. Niggling floats the ball out. Very high kick towards centre half forward. Punched away from Kappa. Mitchell couldn't quite gain possession. So it's bottled up at centre half forward for the Swans and a bounce will take place. Bolton off. Tui on. Now, at this stage, it's a bit of a surprise to me, Barwick, because I think you need the pace.
Well, Tui hasn't had a good night, Bob, and I don't think he can do much to change the game at this late stage.
Thornton once again puts the ball out. Ironmonger races after it like a stall gift winner. And passes out to Carroll. Carroll back to half forward. Keane in the way, though, takes a timely mark.
Oh.
The big Gary Keane gives the hand pass to Michael Gale. Gale puts the ball long over the head of both Barwick and Carter. Merv Niggling first on the scene. Tackled, well tackled, but does break it. Well, gets the hand pass in. Kapler intercepts. Knight across to Barwick. Barwick towards Pekin. And a free kick has been found. It'll come back to Doug Barwick. So Barwick, 80 metres out. No. Called play on now. Back with Barwick again from Pekin. Pekin puts a lovely kick down the ground. Richard Osman comes across, couldn't take it. Niggling trying to get the short kick through. McGrath trying to get the hand pass out. It's a, well, what you call a wrestle for the ball between those two players who've been neck and neck all night. But the honour's going the way of Scott Clayton.
Oh, no doubt about that. He's had plenty of kicks himself. And as well as keeping Greg Williams the match winner, no doubt about that for the Swans. He is the match winner, and they've kept him out of it, and that's made a big difference to this game. Right in front now, there's a free kick from the back, says umpire Russo. Right in front of goal, and is going Fitzroy's way to Keith Thomas. Right in the...
And he won't miss it.
And he's a straight kicker, you're saying.
He's a lovely kick of the football.
Well,
the former South Australian from Norwood. And
started off an interchange.
Keith Thomas's disposal has always been one of the features of his game.
Well, played in premiership sides for Norwood. He's right in front of goal. Bobby Skilton said he wouldn't miss, and he split the centre with that one for a lovely goal.
There we have the score, 12-9-81. Fitzroy 15-19-109, and I think that goal there just about seals the game for the Fitzroy side. And as we saw there on replay, there's the push in the back to Scott, and as Bobby said, he wasn't going to miss it.
Matt Rendell. Well, that little shot there showed three of the match winners for Fitzroy. Matt Rendell on camera at the moment. Scott Clayton just backing back into it. And we also saw a number 4 of Ross Thornton, who I think has had 27 kicks. 81-109. Murphy. Mitchell. Clayton once again puts the ball forward. Osman leads in the race. Couldn't handle it cleanly, but tried to tap the ball on. Does well to retain possession, and a bounce to take place. Glenn Coleman preparing to come on with the 25-minute mark about to tick around. So it's Paul Hawke coming off the ground. With time on left to play, it's 81-109 in favour of Fitzroy.
Kapler, a very impressive player, this man. Beautiful hand pass out to Scott Clayton, who centres the ball for McGrath. But no, it's not McGrath, in fact it's Stevens. He and McGrath look very alike. Grabbed by Scotty McIver, hooks it back to Osman. Oh, almost took it, and eventually, no, it's still in play, said the goal umpire. There's Osman trying to get away with it, and eventually it is forced through in slow motion on that occasion for a point. And Rocket Carter, you've got to admire this man.
He's done a great job.
Hasn't he ever? Barwick, the ball's been down there all night, and Barwick's only kicked 1 goal for the game. 81 plays 110. The Fitzroy with the game well and truly won. That is Knight getting across to Clayton. Clayton with a high one. Now, a chance for Stevens in front, held his ground beautifully. A courageous effort by Stevens. Oh, he gets it to Thomas. Thomas into the open goal, and there's his second goal as he slams it through quite easily.
And as the crowds start to leave the Sydney Cricket Ground now, Fitzroy 16-20, 116 to 12-9-81. And that certainly is the end of the game as far as the Swans were concerned. And here on replay, we see Nagel attempting to punch the ball away, does so, gets it down, handball out there once again to Thomas. And as Bobby said before, he is a great kick of the football and made no mistake.
Well, it's been a magnificent performance so far by the Fitzroy side. 81 to 116. 26 and a half minutes into the final term. Fitzroy, a very disciplined performance right throughout the game. Not a player I think you could look at and say hasn't done 120% for the Fitzroy side. They've really showed the Swans what teamwork is about. McIver, a magnificent player. So too Clayton. Clayton hooks the ball back. Osman up high, but it's well punched away by Niggling. Niggling has done a good job in a defensive role, and unusual to see Merv Niggling down there, but he's played the defensive role well against a player who was running absolutely hot when he came onto him. Punched away. Leon Harris quite happy to see the ball over the boundary line and let the clock tick away a little bit more. 27 and a half minutes we're approaching. No chance for the Sydney Swans now. 81 to 116 with only about 2 or 3 minutes left to play as Carter gets the ball down. Healy hooks the ball back. Morwood and Gale. Morwood couldn't take it. Pushing the back could be the way of the Swans, and we find David Murphy to come out with the free kick. Hand pass to Coleman, a former Fitzroy ruckman. Too high for Kappa, picked up by Laurie. The hand pass missed by Thomas, then he allows Laurie to come in. A short hand pass to nobody in particular. Tui comes in, does well, cops one too high. Good play by Tui, and as he comes out with the free kick. Acted a little bit. You'd have to hit him with a brick, I reckon, to slow Tui down. He's as tough as nails. There's a great mark over the top. Gary Keane, what a fine game he's played tonight. Gives it out to Thornton. Thornton, I think, has had 2 birthdays in one. Got it to Knight, onto the chest of Barwick, and Barwick from the centre of the ground. The lead from Stevens, a beautiful pass, just missed by Stevens, picked up by Bays. Lovely kick back up towards the centre, but there's nobody home. Couldn't be taken by Blakey. Henwood came in, got rid of Thornton, but a free kick has been found. Thornton might be a little bit too sore to take it, but after the number of kicks he's had tonight, I'm sure he's that happy and knows. There's his stats.
Oh, he
26 kicks and 5 handballs, and that's why he's getting his 27th kick.
You think he's learnt that one off Warwick Kappa, that one, but he hasn't done it tonight, Kappa. There was Murphy with a little short pass across to Mitchell, and the smaller players have been disappointing tonight for the Swans because they've had plenty of hit-outs. Ironmonger's done his job, but Fitzroy manning up beautifully. Now, Kappa's made a beautiful lead, a terrific lead. Now, that's a free kick to Kappa. That was a good lead and a lovely pass, and Kappa's already kicked 5 goals, 3. Now, he'd be a brave man to back him even from there, although he should kick it. He's directly in front, and as the siren sounds to end the game, Fitzroy have won it well, but Kappa can certainly change the score from 25 metres out. This will take them to 13-9. If he misses it, it will take them to 12-10. Well, he's got the crowd. Have a look at this. If he kicks this, it'll be a miracle. He's still got the room. And in comes Warwick Kappa. He stabs, and I think he's kicked it. Yes, 6 goals to Warwick Kappa in a losing side. An excellent effort by the full forward. And at the finish of the game, Sydney Swans have lost 13 goals, 9. 87 have been defeated by Fitzroy. 16 goals, 20. 116 in a fine effort.